Hello, hello, hello. Trying to untangle my headphones at the moment. How does this even happen? Look at this knot. I don't know if you'll... Oh my gosh, I can hear... I gotta close this door. I can hear myself downstairs. Hello. Little red light. Okay. So I'm super, super stoked today. Okay, so this is like the first time I'm doing this kind of a video. I've only ever made like tutorials or done some kind of education on here. So we're gonna try something new today, see how it goes. And I'm super, super excited about who I'm talking to. I don't know if you guys know her or seen her TikToks, but China Allred, she's very, very funny girl. This is the first time I'm meeting her. I just, I wanted this whole hairdresser unite thing to just keep going. We had talked about, doing a live together, and so now we're making it happen. I'm gonna try to get as many people to go live with me as I can. Like, how cool would that be if I could get like all these really popular hairdressers, or and not even popular, just good hairdressers, good at work, that do good work. Let's see. Is this better? Can you hear me okay? Let's see. Is it time? Is it time? It's time. Well, we'll give it a minute. Let it sizzle, right? If someone could respond and just tell me if you can hear me with this headphones on, okay. Great. Nobody. Thanks. Just kidding. Okay, so we're gonna give it a minute here. So, great. Thanks, Justin Eugene Mills. You're the best. Yes. Hello. Here we go. Oh, should we do some like intro music? I've never done like a live talking to somebody before, and I don't even know if this is going to work. So we're just going to test it here live. I'm not sure how the whole join thing happens, but I'm going to kind of figure it out as I go here. So just bear with me. We'll give it just a couple minutes here to kick in. Let's see, what are we doing? Okay. Thanks. Good audio. Wow. Very good, very good. Music to your ears. I hope so. Let's see. How do I do this? Okay. I'm going to look at this one. Add this comment moderators. Oh, can I add some people as moderators? Oh. I'm going to add this guy. Okay. And I'm going to add this one too. Those are my peeps right there. Okay. How are we doing? A couple more minutes. Okay, so I put you on my reminders. Oh, cool. Thank you. I know I'm very excited about this. I'm very excited. I'm also going to be interviewing Teresa Van Dam and some others, hopefully. So we'll see if this goes well. Hopefully it will. I'm excited. I'm very nervous. I feel like I'm getting ready for like a first date. Ooh. Do I need a powder? Oh, okay. What will this be about? I don't know. We never talked. So I'm just going to we're going to hopefully talk about hairstylist stuff. Maybe some Karen stories, right? Everybody loves a good Karen story. Maybe a little bit about TikTok. What do you want to talk about? We could start there. You guys have any questions that you want to ask her? I can ask her for you. She just came to 100,000 followers, which is, I think, a big deal. I don't know if that changes your life, but we'll find out. She does a lot of the Karen stories. She's a super cute girl. I feel like I want her to do my hair because she seems like a very humble, fun energy to be around. And that's pretty much what I know about her. We did a little video together, and we'll talk about that a little bit. But Yeah, let me see how, okay, so I should start this now in case I don't know how to do this. Okay, so I saw something on a different person's thing where it had like it was like dueling, like the co-host or whatever, so I didn't want to do that. I don't know if there's an option not to do that. Let's see. Admin, oh wait. Okay, how do I start it? This little guy, huh? Okay, let's see. Add a host, add guest. Go live with requesting viewers. Go live with another host. I'm going to go live with another host. There she is, my China Ray. China Alred. Okay. Here we go. Let's go invite her and see what she does. Very exciting. Ooh. Hello! How's it going? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
What?
Can you hear me good?
Yes. Let me turn this up. Hang on. How are you?
Good. How are you?
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Oh, okay. There you go. I was like,
there we
oh,
go.
I see it. All right.
Your hair makes mine yellow.
Oh no, I like your hair. It's like the golden sunshine. So, how are you?
Good. You are so pretty. Oh my God.
So this is like the first time we've ever talked. We did a video together that was like
Yeah.
funny. It was not my best video.
That was my fault because I forgot to turn the mic on the second go around. I was like, oh my gosh. And then you finished it already. And I was like,
well,
China, what is
well, I had to go back to work, so I was like, I gotta just like do this and get out. So I'm like, I'll just work with it, whatever. And like the sound was so far off. Like that's one thing that I hate about like doing some videos that the sound sounds really bad. You always want that like crisp, and that wasn't crisp.
like totally. I was like, oh my gosh, she's gonna think I'm so stupid. Like I can't think.
It kind of like went perfect with like what was happening with the whole situation, I think.
Well, and then I didn't realize the first video around that I was making faces and that was going to be in the
Oh yeah. Well, that's why I started dancing.
like,
I was into it. I get into it.
I was like, she made the video good, so good for her.
It's okay. It's a first.
I love your hair.
Thank you.
It's so pretty. What'd you do? Did you do like the space buns?
Yeah, I tried. I gave it an 10.
You are so good. You see, you're the epitome of what a hairstylist should look like.
Yeah, right? I agree.
Hair always looks
this. Cover of hair.
I'm a hot mess.
Hot mess. No, that's yeah. That's.
I'm so excited. This is our first time like talking.
I know.
You know,
it's
like,
weird because it's like on the screen.
Because I binge all your videos and I'm like, oh, I'm talking to her. This is so cool.
Well, and you know what's so cool is you recently got 100,000 followers.
Yeah.
How awesome is that?
Cool. You're gonna get there too in like a week. You know, it just, I don't know. But it was all thanks to Teresa and Siri. It wasn't just because my videos were doing that well. Literally, they mentioned me in a video and tagged me, and then that's only it happened seriously that quickly. I was like, oh my gosh, like geez, and people are like, hey.
Well, you were pretty much there. You were like super close. I mean, you were at maybe 98 or something. That's awesome.
I'm trying so hard.
That's like awesome that they tagged you. I was like, oh my God. That's so cool.
I'm excited. We'll have to all do a collab together one day.
You know what I think would be cool? If you do like a Brady Bunch thing where they do like the pictures in the boxes and all the hairstylists.
Dude, yes. I'm totally down with that.
I'm like
I love that.
Working on that.
Best idea. Creative. Like such a creative person. I love it.
A lot of time on my hands.
A lot of time.
That's awesome.
We're busy, but we still have time when we get home from work.
Yeah. So where do you live? You're Central Time, right? So it's 6:30 there?
Yeah. I'm in Texas. Texas shirt.
Nice.
I bought it randomly, one for this video, but no, I live in it's a town called Sherman, Texas. It's like an hour north of Dallas, so I'm up like North Texas.
Oh, nice.
And I like it. It's like a big small town, you know. People are really chill and everyone is nice to each other and kind of like it. Not right in the city and all that, but I work in the city, so Prosper, where I work, is more towards Dallas and all that. It's pretty close to all of that, so it's like a 40-minute drive every day that I drive to Prosper.
Is that where you work?
It's wonderful. Yeah.
Prosper. It's Prosper, Texas.
It's a little town, but it's growing. Like there's a lot of small towns in Texas that are growing really quickly, and that's one of them. And that's why I drive there. People always say, "Oh, why do you drive so far to work? Like, what's wrong with you?" I'm like, that's where the money is. There's not many hairstylists and a lot of people that are wealthy. So
Well, that's always good. Money.
good work in that area.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Does everybody have big hair in Texas? Is it true? Are the rumors true?
You know, yes and no. You have a lot of people that follow like the trends, like the middle parts, and then you have people that just wear like soft curls, like Teresa's hair, yours, like just soft waves. And then you got some women that come in the salon and their hair is like, up to here and it's teased, and you're like, uh-huh. You're definitely born and raised here, aren't you? Or they're from like Georgia or somewhere like that. They're super cute.
You got to fight through that mess. All that teasing and hairspray.
Oh my God, teasing before you even wash it.
You like
It's great.
tasting it?
I love it.
That's awesome.
Oh, I'm so excited. I was so nervous. Like literally, I have to tell you, I had a stomach ache and a headache like 30 minutes before this video. I was driving home and I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna throw up in this car. And then I get home and I was like, I can't feel sick during this video. I gotta get some Tums. Didn't have any Tums. And so I was like, Tanner, go to the store, please. I'm going live. And like, he thinks TikTok, he's like, whatever. But to me, I'm like, no, this is cool. Like, we've had this plan. This is going on. So he got me some Tums.
He doesn't realize how important TikTok is to the world.
No, and that's the thing. I'm like, maybe to some men, they're like, it's not important, but it's fun. We have fun making videos. You make friends,
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's a cool deal to me. But I don't really talk about it at work and stuff too much because I don't want people to be like, oh, you think you're on TikTok? Like,
that's like all I talk about at work. Like, they're like, go away. I'm like, look at my video. And they're like, no, I don't want to watch your stupid video. And I'm like, please, just stare at it. They hate
you are
it.
so funny. Like, literally, I don't like comparing people to other people, but you really remind me of like Jenna Marbles.
Thank you. That's
like,
a huge compliment.
That's what started the obsession because that girl left the building. She's not on social media anymore. She's gone. And I'm like, you bring back that life, but like in a hairstylist way.
And hopefully.
And she made like the few videos where she was like cutting and coloring her own hair. And I'm like, you could literally duet and stitch those if they were TikToks and it'd be like the same person. I love it.
Except America hasn't killed my dreams yet. I'm still, my heart is still pumping.
I know, sort of. I miss her, but I'm like, you're like a version of her to me. Like you're quirky and fun and so creative and such a big vocabulary. Like I just love it. I don't know. It's cool.
Well, thank you.
Like I discovered, it was like weeks ago. I remember I started seeing your videos and I don't know where they came from, but I was really interested. I was like, oh my gosh, I love her. Like we're both blonde, but we're completely different personalities and all that. So it's like, no one would mistake us for each other. And I kind of like that too, you know?
Yeah. Well, I have a lot of wigs I like to wear. I'm all about the wigs.
I love the wigs. Okay, so I have a question. How do you do that where you do like your videos where you'll be in the video and then you're in the video? Like, how do you do all of that? That is so cool.
So mostly it's through the app. Like there's a green screen effect that you can use. And it's like, it looks like a box with like an up arrow. Or it has like a video sign or something on it, and it's a green screen, and you just tape your background first. So if I'm like the person that's standing behind, I'll tape that first, and then I'll screenshot it or record it through my camera, like on my phone. You know how you can just screen record, and then I'll put it in my photos, and then I'll upload it as the background, and it's a lot of work.
That is like thing. Like I don't think I've really ever seen people do that. And so when I saw your videos, I was like, she's unique because she does that. Like you'll have like several different people and like you're in the video, but it looks like you're actually talking to yourself. And like, I just think that's wild. Like it's so cool.
So the reason I
was like, how did you do that?
That started because nobody wanted to be in my videos. And I was like, please act with me in my videos, and nobody wanted to come. So then I was like, I'll just do it. I'll just do every part. And then it was kind of like, my boyfriend's all like, that's what kind of makes it funny, is that you are every part. And I was like, okay, like maybe that's my like thing. I don't know.
Oh my God, I love it.
It's nice because I don't.
And what do you tell? It is like the perfect white. You're Elsa.
Yeah, right.
I have to know.
Oh, what I do for my hair? I just use bleach.
I like what.
I just use lightener.
What toners do you use though on it?
I don't. I use purple shampoo.
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I do like. I mean, I have used toners, but I feel like the toners they destroy my hair. Like I gotta keep, with the hair this light, you can't put a lot of stuff on it. You gotta really keep it nice. And there's a good Guy Tang one that is dusty lavender. That's a really good one.
Ooh, I want to try his stuff so bad, but
it washes out pretty quick.
Oh, really?
It's a good toner.
See, your hair is gorgeous. I was platinum for like 10 years, and I didn't tone my hair either. I would just use purple shampoo like once every couple weeks, and it was just literally that white. It was dead, but it was white.
Yeah, exactly. My hair, it looks healthy, but I just use really good products. My hair is stretchy, pretty stretchy.
What is your natural color, though? Is it pretty light?
I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. I haven't seen it since I was like in 7th grade.
Oh my gosh.
I'm guessing it's like a 6.5, 7.
That's not too bad if you're going to like do a bleach and tone. That's not bad.
And here's the key to it. So the reason I can get mine so light is because when I was in beauty school, I got a really bad haircut, like by this world-renowned guy, and he basically just like started. Well, his whole thing was that he doesn't touch the people with his hands, so it's very unsanitary to touch people with your hands. So he just uses combs. So like he would put his combs on there and like click them together and like cut down the combs to like make a like an A line, like it would be over directed to the back, in between two combs. He'd cut down it'd fall out, perfect A line. Oh my God, girl walks off stage, not a perfect A line, but on stage it looks nice. And so he brought me on, and I had like this mohawk that was awesome. Like it was such a cool haircut, and I did it for this guy's photo shoot, and I'd walk down the mall and people would be like, I like your hair, and oh my God, and I was like so happy. So this guy took me on stage and put me in a chair, started spinning me in the chair, and was like going and like taking sections out, and then he was like hitting me on the forehead, and he left like a huge bruise on my forehead, and I ended up with like just this chopped mess. Like I had to shave my head. So
what?
I was pissed at the time because it was bad. It was really bad, but in retrospect, it was one of the best things that's happened to me, because since my hair was so short, like basically a number 6 or like finger length all over, I decided at the time it was like a burgundy black. I decided I'm gonna go blonde and start over. So every time I do my hair, I only have to do like that 1/2 inch of root. And, like anything longer than a 1/2 inch is going to be yellow, right? So as long as you are always doing it right on your scalp, you're going to get the lightest bleach, and without as much damage, because I'm not doing highlights and pulling it through every time. I'm just doing the roots.
Exactly.
And that's,
my gosh. I've seen some bad haircuts, like when I've gone to hair shows, like not talking bad about anyone, but it's like some of the like big renowned people like Tony and Guy and all that, like you'll see them doing cuts and it's all exciting. And they'll see the model walking around, and you're like,
a tear. Oh, all the hairdressers in the audience just have a single tear if they see him like with the leaf blower and the clippers and but guess what? We remembered it, right? And that was the point.
Right. There's a lot of them like that, but I think my favorite person to watch like cut hair like on Instagram is Philip Wolf. Do you follow him?
I should.
Oh my gosh. Yes, Philip Wolf. He is like, he's so entertaining too. And he'll collaborate with this other guy. His name's like Alfred or something like that. And he's amazing. Like you'll love it. You'll follow him. And he does celebrities every now and then or whatever,
I love watching people cut hair.
That's where I've learned a lot of things about hair, is like watching Instagram. And I tell people, that are starting to do hair now, I'm like, there's no excuse to not like get free education with all the social media now. Like we didn't have that back then,
The thing is though, with as many YouTube videos as you watch, like you have to do it. You have to cut hair, and you can't cut a doll head. You got to cut people's hair. That's what I like to
Yeah,
tell the beauty school students all the time. Is you have to do volumes of work in order to get like good at it, and that's like you can't just watch videos all day, you know. But they're great. Once you know how
I,
to cut hair and you're watching the videos, it's like awesome, awesome to see new
I
tricks.
agree. It's just one of those things that I feel like, in school, my dad, he had wanted to send me to like, oh, Paul Mitchell school or something. And I just remember I went to community college and went to school, and they had a really cool program in a new building. And it's like people that I met that went to Paul Mitchell or Aveda or whatever, I felt like we all learned the same stuff. And it's like 80% of my skills and the artist that I am now, it's like I learned it when I got out of school, to be
Oh yeah.
honest. Like I would have fitted hair when I got out of school. I kind of sucked at it, to be honest.
So I
I did some really not good hair.
oh no, we all did. Yeah, that was.
You're,
I don't think a hairdresser's like I'm amazing from the beginning. No, no.
I was amazing right out of school.
Well, and it seems like a lot of people. I mean, I don't know if this is true for you, but it seems like a lot of people I went to school with, even if they got licensed, they don't do hair. Like, do you find that that's a lot of the people you went to school with are doing hair right now, or no?
No, I feel like a lot of them are stay-at-home moms or nurses. One of the two. They decided to stay at home, which that's fine, or they became a nurse, or or just something totally different. Like maybe I don't know, maybe 15-20% of people I graduated with are possibly doing hair right now that I know of.
And they,
And that's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
Like it's such a cool career. I'm like, it took me years though. I mean, I did hair for a while and I kept giving up and kept thinking I wasn't good enough. Went and sold cars for a little bit, worked at Michael Kors. That sucked. I didn't like that. But yeah, and then I came back to hair and I was like, you know what? We're going to give this a go again. Because I caught myself watching, YouTube videos and Instagram videos. And I was like, I think we should try hair again. I think I miss it. And went back.
So why did you, when you got out of school, you said you went and sold cars instead of doing hair, or you had a salon job and then you
Well,
stopped?
I worked doing hair for a while. I worked so my stepmom's sister owns a little hair salon in Gainesville, which is, not too far from here or where I was living. And, I tried booth rental right out of hair school. Why did I do that? Why didn't someone tell me that was
Because you wanted to
so
blow
wrong?
through your savings, probably. You
Yeah.
hate
Yeah.
having extra money.
My dad would have to pay like my weekly booth rental. It was great.
You're like, he's like, great, I'm glad.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I worked at like a J.C. Penney's. I worked for this other
Like a
guy.
salon in the J.C. Penney's. Yeah.
Yes, and that was not very fun because I didn't make very much money and the management was terrible. But it's like, what about you? Did you do commission? Did you assist? Like, how did you get started?
Well, I went to Paul Mitchell, this school, and this is something I'll let you know. Like from someone who attended Paul Mitchell as a student, and then I worked at a beauty school. I could tell you, yeah, like they learned the same stuff, but like the thing that I think is different is there's a vibe in like the Paul Mitchell school that you don't get when you go to like the community college schools. I mean, I don't know. I frequent the schools. I go to a lot of schools and do education, and I feel like when you go into the Paul Mitchell school, you're like, okay, I got to look good for these guys because these guys are legit. Like I'm scared to go in because they're all so good looking and trendy, and they all have their black and their hair, and and then like some of these other schools you go to and they have like a dirty shirt and like no shoes on, and you're like,
Yeah.
what? you know.
What
But at the end of the
I
day,
will,
you all learn the same thing, but it's a different
I agree.
experience. Yeah.
I agree. There is a vibe to the schools. I will say, you do pay for going to a place that's going to be more fancy. Like where I went, it was more laid back, and there was a lot of people that were like what you said, just like didn't care and rolled out of bed. And me and the girls that was in my classroom, some of us, we would, dress decent, but it's like we always had our hair and makeup done. We loved looking cute. And now I feel like it's sad. I work at a really high-end salon. I'll go with my jeans and like a decent shirt, hair not fixed, some mascara, and I'm like, sorry.
Sorry again. Here I am. Forgot to set the
I can't
line.
help it. I'm like, I don't have the time to worry about being beautiful and perfect anymore.
Which is hard because like I think as a hairstylist, you know, there's a certain level of what you look like that is important. You know, like when people come in, they want to like look through your salon and say, whose hair do I want to do? And be like, I want that girl because she's got the hair that I like, or whatever. And, you know, it's like, so it's like, there is a, you want to look a certain, hi, honey. This is my son. Go away.
Hi. Oh, that's so cute. He came to give you a kiss.
Except he gets me in trouble with these TikToks. Like I cut his hair on one, and then they shut me down because he was like too young, and I was like, oh, I didn't even think about that.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because he was a minor or whatever. So I'm like,
oh my gosh.
But yeah, so
that's goofy.
Yeah, I think like as a hairstylist, there's like a certain, you know, I tell my stylist, like, I don't want to see you come to work with your hair wet, because I don't want to see it like hair wet in a clip. Like, you know, like you're a hairstylist, do your hair, you know.
Exactly. Wait, so do you like run a salon? I need to know everything.
Yeah, like, so I manage a salon, and I kind of oversee some other salons, and then I do like education at like beauty schools.
Oh my gosh, that is so cool.
Living the dream.
That's amazing. Like, one of these days, I'm going to come out there because I want to go to Disneyland.
I live right by Disneyland.
Feel like, you
like,
do?
Maybe 30 minutes. Yeah.
Okay, well, the next time I get to go to Disneyland, or when I get to go to Disneyland, I'm definitely going to have to come visit. Like, that is so cool that you live in California and get to do hair in California. Like, that's a dream.
It is, yeah.
That's like the coolest thing. And are y'all's salons like pretty much back open now? Like, is everything back to normal?
Well, I mean, we have to wear masks, but in Texas, they have like a, isn't it like you don't have to wear the mask? They like said you don't have to, right?
No. But you got to think, Texas is more just, it's like its own little country. You know, we're over here, and then there's the rest of the world.
Shooting guns and riding horses, I imagine.
But it's nice because our salon owner, what he did when COVID, like when we went back to work, we were out, I think, for like 8 weeks, and he spread the stations apart. Oh, yeah. So we genuinely, like, I think we have like a good 5 feet in between, like 5 or 6 feet between each chair. Like, they're pretty spread apart. Because he's like, I want y'all to have room and be spread out. So he like spent like weeks like getting all the chairs moved and like making it roomier. So it's a big salon, you know?
Yeah, I think you had to. I mean, I think it was like ordered for us that we had to be 6 feet distance, and we had to do certain procedures, and, you know, had to wear masks and have all the customers wear masks. And it was like, it wasn't really an option for us. And we closed down 3 times. Let me close this door once.
That was so sad.
So,
he's like,
right, just like, there we go.
Can you?
Let's lock it. No. All right.
Oh, sorry. I was reading something. No, what was I about to say? Oh, I was following along like a while back when everybody was on quarantine. I was following Larissa Doll. Obviously, I'm sure you know who that is, right?
Who?
In California.
Who is it?
Larissa Doll.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I love her, and I was following her journey, and I remember just being so sad because I had gone back to work, and I just hurt on the inside for all the hairstylists that weren't working in California. I was like, that's so sad for the people that can't work. And it's not only about money, but like just not getting to do hair for like weeks at a time. Like, we have to do hair and touch people's heads. Like, that's just our thing, you know?
Well,
it's what gets excited.
And I wish I would have started TikTok in quarantine. If I would have known about like this whole thing, because I've been doing the TikTok for about like a little over 3 months. And, if I had known about it in quarantine, I would have been like on it, like, but I was pregnant, so yeah, it was all good. Yeah.
So when you started your TikTok, I don't remember if I've seen your like first few videos or not, but did you feel like instantly people were like, oh my gosh, I love this? Or did it take you a minute to get there? Or
I think I had one that went viral. Like, I got one that was like kind of shot up a little bit, and I was like, oh shit, you know. And I was like, because I originally had like a mommy page, like it was like Carrie the Mommy, and I would do like these like little, because I've always kind of made videos for whatever reason, and I did, you know, so I kind of transferred it. So when I started my page, I thought of it like a business. I thought, okay, like I'm going to have a niche, and it's all going to be hairdressing, and it's going to be, you know, I looked at like the internet of what videos I like. You know, I see you and Siri and Teresa Van Dam, and it's like I like the, you know, the Karen stories. I relate so much to those. that like I was like, I have some stories to tell, and I've got some wigs to buy. So here we go. And so I just started doing it, and one kind of went viral, and then I start, more people started watching my stuff, and then I got one that just hit it big. It's got like 8 million views, and it's like,
Oh
and
my
all
God.
the views, all the comments are haters, like they hate it, and but I didn't want to take it down because I'm like, this is getting me views, so. But like everybody in the comments is like, how dare you? I'll never go to your salon. And I'm like, oh, your views and your comments are just making me more money. Like, so thank you.
Yeah.
No. But then like
8 million.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So then I like just, and then it dropped off, like they always do. And then you like are like, is anyone out there? Does anyone even care? What about my video? And
Yes, like it honestly is discouraging. And it's not like we're just trying to be like famous or something. It's like it sucks with well, it sucks when you get that momentum and it makes you excited and then all of a sudden TikTok's like, nah. Like I've had people message me. I've had like 5 or 6, maybe 7 people message me and say, I went and looked and I'm not following you anymore. Like TikTok unfollowed me on your page, and I was like, what?
That's interesting.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because I noticed one day like my followers just started dropping and dropping, and I'm thinking, are people out there like actively unfollowing? Like I've never unfollowed someone unless like they all it was like content that I didn't like. But if it was content I didn't like, I wouldn't have been following them in the first place. So like I've never like actively gone and got rid of people. So I was like,
exactly. Yeah, like there's people I've tried to look up or think of their name and I'm not following them. And so I can't find them, like these big TikTokers that have at least 1 million followers or more. And I'm like, I can't find them. Like one girl's really funny. I think her name's Gabby. She doesn't wear makeup and she like goes in the bathroom, makes fun of herself. I can't find her anywhere. And I love her. And I'm like, it is what it is, I guess. But it was kind of weird because I feel like, and it makes me feel kind of bad about myself now because I feel like you and Teresa, like y'all all started your TikToks like recently. I have had a TikTok since last year. Like I've probably had a TikTok for like over a year now. And I wasn't good at making videos though. Like if you go back and look at my very first ones, it's like I was just kind of goofing around. I was 28 at the time, I guess, when I started making them. And it was like, I would do, I really liked Tana Mojo. I still do, but I liked her back in the day. She would do story times. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, that would be fun. I like to talk. I'm a hairstylist. I could do like story time videos. And I had a few of those do okay on TikTok, but I remember watching Teresa and Siri and I was like, oh my gosh, I wish I could do what they do. I have a big personality. That'd be so much fun. And like you, like, oh, I have stories. That'd be cool. And I never thought I could do it. And I watched them for like a few months. And then as soon as I started making them, that's when the hate came in.
Oh, really?
It was like people genuinely thought that like I wanted to be Teresa and like steal her content and like take her followers. And I was like,
so is that where,
what?
Okay, so is that where that kind of came from? Because I noticed there's like this vibe on their videos talking about like you guys stop, hating all these other stylists. We all love each other, or and it's like, what? Like I don't understand who it was about. So was it directed towards you?
Yeah, so what happened was this was early August. This has been like probably a good 6 weeks ago when I genuinely started making hair point of views. I had made a few. I hadn't made very many. And apparently people were tagging Teresa in my comments. And I got so upset and mad because I felt like they were, trying to make me look bad. And I was scared of her. She had so many followers. I was like, oh my God, if she thinks I'm following her, she's going to like eat me or something. And I didn't know her at the time.
So it's a snack.
So I started deleting. I'm telling you, there was like 50 or 60, like on a video that doesn't have that many views or comments, like just Teresa, like commenting her name on like videos like all the time. And I'd start deleting it. I was like, oh my God, she's gonna hate me and be mean to me. Like I didn't think she was mean, but I was scared. And so I started freaking out. And then one day Teresa made the video and she was like, hey, I just want to come on and talk for a minute. All of you that are DMing me about this girl, I don't know who she is. She has 40,000 followers. And then there was like only 2 or 3 people that tagged me. And I commented, and then Teresa found out who it was because she didn't know my name or anything. And it just kind of went from there. And because I had gotten myself, I got up to 40 something thousand on my own because I started making videos, but then it hit bigger and started going up a lot crazier when she did that. Because then people started coming over and showing me love from her page. And then, yeah, she's just been really, really nice. Like, she's actually a really nice person. And it's not like TikTok talk. It's like, she just treats me like a friend.
Well, yeah.
I mean, we don't talk all day, every day or anything. We're not like best friends, but she's been nothing but nice to me. And so I've told her, like, you're part of the reason that I'm doing well. I feel like, yeah, I had some followers already, but it was just nice of her to come in and say, hey, leave this girl alone. Like, she's not trying to copy me. And there was one video I know that's what pissed everybody off. It was a video where it was like one of my first ones. It said, Karen's color sits on longer than she thought, or something like that. And Teresa had apparently made one that day, and I didn't realize it till later. But she had made like pretty much the same video, and I didn't realize it. And I'm like, well, maybe I saw hers and didn't think about it, made it later that day. You know what I mean? Like, it was a genuine mistake. And also, I had messaged her. I said, hey, if you really feel like I'm copying, like, I'll delete the video. Like, you let me know. I would never want to piss you off. You know what I mean? And she was like, no, it's fine. Like, the other day, someone in my live was asking me about lice. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I'll make a lice video. I start uploading it. And lo and behold, a video pops up from 6 hours ago that Teresa made a lice video. And I was like, oh, heck no, we're not doing that.
Well, yeah, but you think about it, like, if I was in a room of hairdressers and I said, hey, who has ever had a client that wants 2 layers? Then I bet every single hand will go up. Who has ever dealt with lice? Okay, every single hand. Like, this is the reason, like, they're good, their stories are good, and they're, you listen to them and you watch their content is because they're relatable to hairstylists. Like, I had stories that people told me about. This girl had a spider come out of a guy's hair onto her hand, and I was like, I'm going to make a TikTok about that. But then I'm like, well, that's not like as relatable. I don't think that's happened to all these people. I mean, maybe like later down the road I still may, but I wanted, when I first started, it's like, okay, I just have to do the cliche, the dad joke guy, and the hairstyle. You know what I mean? Like, we've all had that guy. So it's like, and how can you say I'm copying? And I actually try not to watch their content now because I don't want to like copy what they're doing. But like, sometimes, it's almost always the first person that comes on my feed is Teresa. And then her thing triggers a memory. And then I'm like, oh shit, I had a guy like that. I want to make a video with this point of view. Or like, and I'm not doing it because I'm trying to, copy her, but I'm relating to that experience and trying to just make my own twist on it or whatever. I'll just put on a bunch of wigs.
Exactly. I feel like that too. And that's why because I've never talked to Siri. She has only commented on my live when that first started going on. And she was like, hey, girl, it's okay. I get it. Like, sorry about the hate. And so me and Siri had never talked, but me and Teresa had. And so then it was like, when they made that TikTok together the other day and Siri at them was like, China is too. I was like, that's so funny.
That's cool.
I thought that was cool though that they got to collab. I feel like because they're the two like biggest ones. Everyone knows who they are.
Right.
Yes. And then, but I feel like I don't like that people, compare them because I'm like, they look like completely different people and their videos are totally different. Like, I don't get how people get all confused. I'm like, they're just different. Siri's all like up close and like talking slow, and Teresa's like got music and what I mean. The vibe is totally like me and you. Our vibes are totally different. Like, I don't think anyone would get us confused probably. Yeah. And your hair's like Elsa and I'm golden retriever.
Well, and I would be okay if they wanted to confuse me with you. That's okay with me. I'd be like, okay, yeah, I'll take it.
Right.
Totally.
But you're just so much more quirky and like you're genuinely funny. Like, I feel like you say things that are just like, they're just funny. Like, anything you say seems funny. Whereas me, I have to like, honestly, I have to think about it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and like a lot of work goes into all this stuff. I mean, I don't know. Do you have like a preparation process that you go through to like make a video, or do you just kind of do it off the cuff and
I just do it? Yeah. If I think about it too hard, it's a crap video and I just scrap it. But if I do it just in the midst of things, like usually the whole video, I do it all the way through, like a one part. Like, I have to do it all at once or it's just not good.
Oh, so you like switch back and forth.
Yes, like quickly. And that's why my videos, I keep it so simple, because if I try to put on disguises, I'll lose momentum and my videos aren't as good
Yeah,
for me,
no.
not for everyone, but for me it's like, and if I'm doing a slightly different voice, I'll lose
Yeah.
it because I'm so ADD. I can't do it. So I'm like, let me just stick to what I do good. I'll leave the disguises to you and Siri. You and Siri do
Yeah.
disguises
I
more.
love my
Like y'all
disguise.
are.
I'm like the queen of Halloween. Like I love putting on. Like I've always been. I used to be a makeup artist and stuff. I love doing makeup. I love doing all that dressing up. Like that's my jam.
I love that. You were an actual, like, you did makeup like on
Yeah,
clients and
I
stuff?
used to work at Mac.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
that's so
it was a
cool. I'm
great.
so
Yeah, it
jealous.
was awesome. It was so much fun working there. I
I
love
had
that place.
always wanted to do makeup. I feel like I was the queen of like the cake face. I was called an Oompa Loompa in high school. I always wore my makeup like it was like 2 shades darker. It was offensively dark. It just orange, not brown, just orange. But I loved makeup, but I loved hair too.
Not brown. I was wearing blackface. It's just
Yeah,
orange, just a little orange.
orange. I wasn't
Just
that
a
proud.
very
It's just
nice
orange.
tan.
Yeah. But it's like I was known for like taking my face in makeup, but yet I liked hair. So if I could go back in time, honestly, I would have probably done makeup more because I never actually did makeup for a living. And I wish I would have because I think it's so cool, you know?
And that's one
Like
thing
I love
like on YouTube is so good at. Like the tutorials of makeup. It's like wow. Just watching some of these people put on makeup, I've learned so much. And every Halloween, I like kill it because I just like go to Jordan Hans's tutorials and
yeah.
like just do what she did, and like people are like wow. I'm just following it. So it's like
See, my dream is to meet Manny MUA, Jeffree Star, and Jaclyn Hill. I'm like, oh dear Lord, J, if I can meet one of them, life is good. I'm done. It's over with.
Manny MUA. Who's that? That I know who it
You
is.
don't know
Remind me. Is it the who is it? What is their thing?
it's the guy. He has the beard and he has dark short hair and he's like really funny. He has a makeup line. It's called Lunar Beauty. He collabs with like Laura Lee.
Laura Lee.
They're like best friends, but oh my gosh, you would like love him. I'm obsessed with
I
him.
don't watch a lot of TikTok, but I just like I am on TikTok all the time because I'm doing my videos, but I don't really sit and watch it that much. Like I guess sometimes, but not. I'm usually watching my own stuff. Just watching.
Well, and that's what sucks. It's like we want to sit there and scroll and have fun on TikTok, but to have any life, like when you're making your own videos, you don't get a lot of extra time to watch TikTok itself and watch what everyone else is doing. And sometimes I have to take all that extra time and my eyes hurt because I have to sit there and be like, okay, what are the new
Yeah.
trends? Could I do something? But I think people honestly just like my point of views. Like I think I'm okay at story times, but I think for the most part I'm just gonna stick to that because if that's the videos people like, I'm like, might as well keep doing
And that's what they're looking for. Like when they see your video pop up and they like that video, they want to go to your account and find more videos like the one they just saw. Because they don't want to see something totally different. Like I know with mine, I started doing like the makeup that the like Ursula as a hairdresser and like the Queen of Hearts, and like I got the worst views out of all of them out of those. And it's because that's not what people want to see. They want to see a good Karen story.
But I think they're cute. I think any of your videos are good, but you're right. When people like you for one thing, it's like, oh, it's my niche. I better stick with it or I'm going to lose all my followers or something. Like, I'm even scared sometimes. Like, I will want to make like a goofy video, but I'm like, oh, I don't know if people really do that. Like, I feel like Teresa and Siri are at the point they can kind of make anything because people are just obsessed with them. But when you're a little bit smaller creator, you have to like really put out exactly what people want
Yeah.
to keep it going. Like you can't. You're right. You can't really venture out too much, and that's fine. But I'm like, oh, I could do Halloween makeup and do point of views.
Yeah.
Like that's something I want to do. Like do some cute little simple Halloween makeup and do some of that or get some Halloween clothes on. Do my hair with a wig or I have like a half red, half black wig, and I'm like, oh yeah. We're using that in October when it comes.
And that's like the fun of it. Like my kids don't even bat an eye when I walk down with like a beard and like, they're just like, hey mom.
I love that. What made you come up with doing that? Like you just tried it out and just liked it or how did that happen?
Tried out and dressing like a man. No. No, I think I wanted to do like the point of view videos, but I wanted to like upscale it because I like, you know, I feel like when you put on a costume, you get into that character. Like the mom is a different character than like the newbie or the, you know what I mean? And I was like, okay, I can like build these characters, and then I can like use the characters in different videos. And like I was gonna make this video about lice, where like every character had like a different, like the types of stylists had like a different part. Like the newbie was like hiding in like the fetal position in the corner, and like the extra servicer is like, I can get it out, you know. And then, you know, I have like this idea of like this whole world that I live in. It's just all me, and it's so amazing because we all get along so well. But yeah.
I love that. Where do you have to plan out your videos? Because you switch so much, you probably plan them out more, right?
So I'm like pretty strategic. Like I when I have downtime at work, I'll like write them. So I'll write a script first in like my notes or whatever. And I have all these scripts in my notes that haven't been done yet. And I have a little checkbox, and I check them off after I do them. But I have the script done, and then I can go back and like read over it and see if I think it's like still funny. And because sometimes I'm like, no, that was too late at night to write that. No. But then like, and then I plan it out kind of in my head, like, okay, what am I going to need to do this? Like I need, you know, I have a dad, a daughter, and a stylist. So I'm going to go ahead and tape all my stylist parts first in my regular hair and makeup, like when I don't have as much time. And then I'll put in my drafts, and then I'll come back another day when I have more time and do like the daughter and the dad, and then just tape them all. And sometimes I do multiple videos, like I'll do, you know, my stylist part in like 3 different videos, and then come back the next day and do like the character. And like
here's a question I have that I've always wondered about your videos and people that do disguises and stuff. How do you film with the disguises? Do you have to film all the parts dressed as one person and then edit it all together?
Okay, so like, you know how when you start and stop, you know, it starts different clips. So then when you go into like after you're finished, you have like an option to adjust the clip. So then you push the adjust clip, and you can go through each clip and adjust it. So like I'll go back, like, so I'll tape it like this, like I'll say my part as me, blah, blah, blah. And then as I'm doing it, then I'll hold up a number 2 and say the second person's part in my same outfit, so that I'm you know how you said you want to be like feeling the, you know, you have to feel it. So you don't want to like just, you know, you don't want to stop and like change and then try to come back to it. Like you need to feel how it's working. So I'll say my part, and then I'll, you know, go like this, and I'll say the second part, and I'll stop it, and then I'll say my part as a stylist, and then I'll go like this, you know. And then when I'm done with all my parts as a stylist, I'll go back, and every one that I had in number 2 is where I do all the other like the mom parts. So then I'll you know, I'll say start new or new clip or whatever, and I'll or re-record or something, and then it gives you that same amount of time. So like when I first do it, I have to make sure that I'm like allotting enough like time, because sometimes I try to do, you know, it too fast, and then I'm like trying to rush to say the line later. But yeah.
So you're like, to make one TikTok, it could take you like half an hour just to do the whole thing, just to record it all, and like
days. It could take days.
What do you
like?
Oh my gosh! Like
I spend like.
That's why I'm like, I'll be watching your videos. I'm like, this girl deserves so much more credit and followers than she has. Like, you should be up there with Teresa and Siri, because you put so much work into your videos, and you can tell. Like, I'm sitting there watching, I'm like, how does she do that? Like, this is a lot of work. Like, if I had to do it like that, I could not have a TikTok, because it's so, you literally have to put so much work into yours. And that's like, it's awesome that you actually do that and you care so much. And, you know, I think it'll pay off though, because the more followers you get, people are gonna be like, dang, this girl actually like puts in the work to do this, and she deserves it.
Well, it makes me happy. Like, it's such a good release. You know, sometimes after, you know, working all day, like I just want to come, and like now it's like when I'm working in the salon and I see like that weirdo come in, I'm like, ooh, I got a TikTok. Like, I look forward to these random TikToks, because like they're just gonna make my stories better. So like, sit in my chair, sir, you know. And it's like,
well, I made one day, and it was, I hate to say this, I try not to make them without current clients.
Yeah, you're like,
but I had a lady, and she was like, oh, this was the first time I did her hair though, so it was a while back, but she still comes to me, and I remember I was doing her hair, and she was like, I need you to do it like they do in Italy. They mix, like, they have 4 different bowls just to do my color, but just my roots, and you need to learn. you need to learn in Italy. You need to go over there and learn this hair technique they have. And I was like going on, and I was like, after one time she came in, I was just like, I'm gonna make a TikTok about it. Like, I love her, but like, it was just funny. And then what freaked me out, like the other day, she came in to get her hair done, and I posted a picture on Instagram. It was like, oh, thanks for all the people that are following me from TikTok. And I thought she meant TikTok. She goes, oh, so what do you do on TikTok? And I was like, what? She was like, well, I saw your Instagram. I was like, oh, thank God. And she's like, yeah, I don't have TikTok. And I was like, whoo, we touched
You don't want it. Download Clapper. No. TikTok.
I was so freaked out though, and I'm scared that one of my clients one day is going to see it, because some of my young clients are starting to see my TikToks, and I was like, oh my God, I don't want them to ever think it's like a video. So I've been trying to do some about like owners I've worked for, or like people I've worked with. I don't just want to make them about Karens. And so I've started to branch out, because the last lady I worked for, she was a little bit nutty, very bipolar. And someone commented, well, Teresa commented, she's like, did we work for the same person? And people are like, oh my gosh, it's like y'all both worked for Kathy or something or whatever. And I'm like, no, she was that bad. Like, I think who Teresa worked for was a little worse, and she assisted, but I worked commission for this woman, and I'm talking, she would come in. She was born in Connecticut, raised in New York. And, so she was really loud. I didn't mind that about her. I thought she was funny at first, but then she would come in, just slam stuff and be like, who used my brush? And just like looking around like the evil wicked witch.
Oh, that would be a good TikTok as like the wicked witch.
I was like, what?
Every time she uses water, she melts. Oh, okay,
yes.
I'm writing this down.
So you'll love this. I wrote down last night, I was like, thinking about all the mean stuff she did me over 2 years. That's like 2,000 worth of videos probably. And I was like, I remember one time, like, I hate it when salon owners do this. They'll act like everything's okay, and then one day they're like, you can't do this anymore. So one day, I always tone at the bowl with Redken Shades EQ. It's messy. You need to get it on. Sometimes get it off quickly, depending on what you're doing. And I would always tone at the bowl. Well, sometimes there'd be like 4 or 5 of us stylists, and there's 2 shampoo bowls. And I would at least need to put the toner on at the bowl, and I wouldn't leave it on that long. And she'd be like, no, China, you need to start toning at the chair. And I was like, dude, I got to get this on at the bowl. It's messy and runny. And I mean, we like had it out like several times. I was like, I have to tone at the bowl. Or if I'd sit back there and try to tone, she'd get really pissed. And she'd be like, I told you not to tone at the bowl. Like in front of clients, she would say stuff like this. Like she did not care, like all the time. And then like Thursdays, she would make us work till 8 o'clock. And if I got done at like 7, she'd be like, no, you need to stay. And I'm like, I don't want to stay another hour. Like, and the cleaning video I made, this girl commented last night. It pissed me off. I made a reaction video, and I'm like, I should have left it alone. I wasn't rude. But this lady commented on my video that's a hairstylist, apparently. And she's like, if someone tells you to clean, you clean. I'm like, first of all, there's this thing when you're a hairstylist called, there's respect, mutual respect. But if I'm not hourly, you can ask me nicely to help, and I'll help out here and there. But I'm not your cleaning lady when I'm commissioned doing hair all day, double booked when I was at that salon. And she would want us to clean and stay later and do all this stuff. And I'm like, dude, no, you're paying me like, I make like $800 a week, and you want me to stay and clean after like the 9 hours I work today, and I haven't eaten and I'm hungry. Like, no, kiss my butt. Like, no.
I'm not cleaning.
She was crazy.
And that's when you were
and
assisting?
it just like, no, this was a commission stylist. Like she was to stay, and I'm like, my video I posted, I think it was yesterday, I'm like, or 2 days ago, I'm like, no, you don't understand. Like, I'm commissioned. I understand. Like, I'll help fold towels. I'll help do things here and there. I would even help her shampoo and blow dry her own clients. And she would want me to like stay and clean and stay and do all this stuff. And I'm like, you need to hire someone to help, like an assistant, because she wouldn't have an assistant for the longest time. And I'm like, you can't rely on all of us that's busy all day long. And then at the end of the day, stay another half hour to help you clean. Like, you're not doing it. You're not cleaning anything. And she just would like throw it on us and get mad at us. And it was probably the most toxic salon I've worked in aside from Aveda.
How long have you been a hairstylist? Like, how long have you been a hairstylist?
Only 8 years, but it seems like it's been like,
like the whole life.
How long have you been doing hair?
10.
Because you're like really successful. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so cool.
Yeah. how many salons have you worked at? Just at, you said,
like 8.
really? Oh, so you like been around feeling it out, huh?
Yeah,
So
and
have you been behind the chair and like done all the different kind of like, have you worked for like a franchise salon or like a, I don't know what you call it, like a
yeah, well,
hourly?
I worked at, I did the booth rental for a little bit. That didn't work out,
And how come
obviously.
that didn't
I
work
worked at,
out? The booth.
well, because I didn't make any money. I didn't, well, I didn't know how to advertise. Instagram wasn't what it is now. This was back in like
Mm-hmm.
2013. Instagram was newer, low quality pictures. Businesses weren't really on there yet. And it's like Facebook, it was only people you knew. So there was no advertisement unless you went out into the world. And my awkward, weird butt was like, no, I don't know how to do that. And like go out and hold signs and talk to people. I was like, I don't know how to do
Scissors.
that. That's so come see the salon. She was like, make a sign and go stand out there. I was like, no, I have dignity. No.
So I think that's
And
like, yeah,
so,
something that I talk about at that beauty school too. Is like, if you're gonna have like rent a chair, you have to know that you need to be a business owner. You're not just doing hair. You're a
yes.
business owner. You're running a business. You have to know how to market. Have to know how to network. You have to know like how to account, do accounting. Like you have to know all these things. Plus, it's a ton of money to start. Like it's a lot of overhead because every time you do a color, you have to have the whole color line. You can't just have, it can't be like consultation. Let me go run to the store and I'll be right back with your color. You have to have it in stock and you have to have products and it's so much. But like, yeah, and building your clientele, like it's a hard choice right out of school for sure.
Well, and people don't understand. It's like, yes, we can make really good money, but they don't take it into accountability. The back problems we have, the feet problems. We don't get insurance when you work for yourself. But like with the salon I'm at now, the last salon, obviously I left, thank God, after 2 years. But it's like I've been there for a little over a year and I had to start over. They didn't give me any of my clients at the last salon, which is normal when you leave. They're mad at me for leaving. And, so
Well,
I lost all my clients, had to rebuild. And so to start at this salon I'm at now, I think I spent like $2,500 on product alone.
oh, sure. In one
Like
trip, right?
full product, yeah, like everything, like toners, color. I had to buy a blow dryer and all that stuff because at my last salon, they supplied everything. But it kind of sucked because my last salon I was 40% commission. But I feel like being double booked all day long, being as busy as I was, I just felt like they were kind of shady with me. I mean, I won't go into detail about that, but it's like this salon now I'm at, I'm commissioned at the moment, but I'm working towards doing booth rental. But I've just moved so much and worked at so many salons. I've always started over building
Yeah.
clientele. So it's like I've never gotten to a point where I've just stayed somewhere long enough that I could just say, oh, I'm ready to booth rent. And then it makes you nervous because you're like, well, where I'm at now, it's like, yes, I'm commissioned. I supply all my own products, but I'm like, I'm ready to do booth rental soon, hopefully by the end of the year or maybe by January. But I've just taken my time. It's like, probably 6 months ago, I should have just been like, okay, let's do booth rental. But,
Well, not 6 months ago.
even
That'd
me,
be the worst time during quarantine. Ugh. Everybody, the
true.
business is so
No, well,
down.
was it that? No, was it that? No, that was last
Yeah,
year.
like before we all shut down. Well, thank God,
Yeah,
right? Did you get unemployment?
yes. And that's literally how I bought all the supplies to work at the place I do now.
Stimulus money. I bought a bike. Yeah, I was the queen of the
Yeah,
quarantine.
it's like literally all the money I got went towards buying hair supplies and paying my car payment and braces. And I was like, oh, yeah, it's gone
Yeah,
again.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, it's like I want to do my own thing, but I'm nervous. You got to get your own, system. You got to do your own taxes. And that's a big step. And for someone like me, I've never minded working for someone else, but I think you get to a point you're like, okay, I've moved around so much. I'm finally somewhere where I'm going to stop and work somewhere for hopefully a while. And I need to just go for it. I've got my clients,
Well,
you know,
yeah, you said you've worked as a hairdresser for 8 years and you've worked at 8 different salons, right? So that's like a different salon every year. Like that, it's really hard to build a
yeah,
clientele, you know, in a
exactly.
year.
I did it the wrong way though. I honestly need to make a series on YouTube that's like what not to do as a hairstylist.
My life.
Cause I feel like, yeah, it's like I feel like people that have only done hair for like 2 or 3 years are at the level I'm at now, if not further, because I screwed up the way I did it for so long. It's like I worked, let's see, I did the booth rental. I worked for JCPenney hair salon for like 6 months. I really didn't like that. It just didn't work out well for me. Um, and then I worked at an Aveda salon. I worked at a Sweet and Sassy. It's a little girl's cutting place. So you do manis, petties on them, haircuts, you spray glitter.
Oh.
Everyone thought I was a stripper because I had long white hair and hair extensions, wore tons of makeup. My name's China, covered in glitter. You get it. Interesting. Worked it.
Dripping dollars.
Aveda, worked. And I was paying dollars everywhere. And people were like, what do you do for a living? I'm like, I do hair. They're like, sure you do. And then I worked for this other lady that, even though I had done hair for a while, she made me assist for her for just a little bit. And then I started working commission for her. So I really only started commission like 4 or 5 years ago, something like that. I'd have to go look at the timeline, but it's been a while, but I worked for her, helped her open a salon, did commission for a while. And then my last salon was 2 years. And like I said, I lost all my clients. And slowly, some of them have trickled back because they're like, well, I didn't have your number. They wouldn't tell me where you went. And I'm really close, like up the street from the other salon. So it's like, but I get it. They were angry. They're like, oh, you can come here, though. It's okay that she left. That's just salon owners in general, I feel like. But it just sucked that they're like, oh, I think she went back home and did hair. I don't think she's around here anymore. Like, so yeah, I had to just rebuild. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to do my thing and grind, and I'm going to earn back all my clients and just do it myself. And I did. And it only took me probably, like 4 or 5 months, and then I was fully booked again. And I'm like, see, if I can do it, anybody can do it,
And then, and your clients, like, if you find someone that knows how to do your hair and knows how to do it right, like, you will find them. Like, you'll dig for them. Like, people during quarantine were, like, on my Etsy page messaging me, like, there's nothing, it's, like, not even, like, Etsy, a new order? No, they want their hair done, and it's, like, you have certain clients that will follow you till the end of the time, and then, and then you have a lot of, like, people that are loyal to the salon rather than to the hairstylist. And a lot of times salons have a big turnover. So it's, they're kind of used to going, if they do my hair okay, then I'm okay,
Well, it sucks because it's like, I wish salon owners would get better about how they treat their stylists, because then they wouldn't have to worry about people leaving. Like I said, the last person I worked for, she would come in angry and, almost yelling at us and talking down to us in front of other people. Like, legit, this woman would come over and I'd be doing someone's hair and she's just like, why are you doing it like that? I told you to do it like this. Like, or, ew, what'd you do to her hair? Just like literally being unprofessional and downgrading me in front of a client. And clients that come to me now that have found me, I've probably had, like, just over the last year, probably a good 50 people that have found me, that happen to find me. And they're like, I always felt like there was a really bad vibe in there and there was something wrong with her. And, I'm not going to talk bad about her to them or anything, but I'm like, yeah, I left for a reason, but I'm here now and I'm happy, and that's all that matters. So
it's amazing.
The salon owner I work,
how, like, one
it's
person
like
can really change the vibe, of the whole whole salon.
Yes, like, it was a small salon. It was a long and narrow salon. There was only a few chairs and we'd all be cram packed. And I mean, like, you would turn your client and you would just hit people because we were all like, you'd literally be standing like this.
Like we did that, like the booty bump in the.
Yes, like you were just packed in like sardines, and it was just wild. You'd be like, oh, excuse me, like you're blow drying, you're like hitting the person next to you trying to like do a precision cut, and you're like, this is crazy.
You get blown.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'd get mad. I'd be foiling someone's blow drying my foils. I'm like, hey man, quit blow drying my foils.
That's the TikTok right there. You gotta remember that. Too close.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I need some more other stylists. Like, what's a good type of stylist? Like, I had some, and then I was like, I ran out of like thoughts. Like, you got any ideas? I was thinking like the five more minutes, right? What was your idea?
My idea? Okay, give me some words and we'll see what I come up with.
Well, no, like what other types of stylists are there? Like, this is So mine were like the mute, and I did the newbie, and I did the what else did I do? I can't even remember my own thing. Oh, it's right here. Let's see.
The messy stylist.
Oh yeah. That's what I'm working on. Yeah, messy stylist is a good one.
Like, I worked with a lady. She was so nice, but I'm telling you, she would literally color someone's hair, take them to the bowl, do some crazy stuff, bring them back to the chair. Oh, we're gonna fix it. We're gonna do this. Then take them back, and then bring them back, and then like burn their hair off with the curling iron. And you're just like,
and you can tell exactly what products she used because her handprints are on every single thing, like black handprints on all the products. Yeah, that's the best one.
Like, insane. Like, such a nice person, but just insane. I'm like, bro, you gotta calm down.
Ooh, someone put in the comments the stylist who tries everything they saw on YouTube. That's a good one too. Yeah. Like the
stylist that sell Monet. I will never be okay with that.
I did a Monet video. It didn't do well, but I felt good about it because every single thing I said in that video was fact. I had researched it very, very thoroughly. And it's all true.
I mean, they have literal lawsuits. It's kind of like, do you remember Win Hair back in the day that got lawsuits against him?
Her hair green. Her hair started turning green. I was like, what the heck is going on with your hair? We're using exactly the same color. Oh, I started using that Wen shampoo. And as soon as she stopped, it stopped turning green.
I'm telling you, that's stuff. Well, and Monet, I think the problem with that is I see actual hairstylists selling it, and it's like, okay, it's not professional. It's extremely expensive. It's got red clover in it, which is bad for hormones. Like, people were going as far to say as like they were having like miscarriages from like the red clover, like the hormones. I don't know how true
I think you're using it on your wrong hair. You're supposed to use it on the hair on your head, people. No.
Don't eat it.
Yeah. Or scrub
but
anything
it's like genuine. Like, I have some clients that either their hair wouldn't take color as well. I have one client that had not quite as much as hair as me, but now she's got like wispies, like literally such thin hair. We had to cut it short, and she wears it up literally every day. And then just like, it's the most insane thing I've ever seen.
That's one of those videos I want to make of like that person that's like, I don't know what to do with my hair. I want a big change. And it's like a one wisp, and you're like, I don't know what to tell you. And they're like, how does it, what? And they keep cracking jokes about it, and you're like super uncomfortable because you're like, I don't want to be like, no, your hair isn't full and thick, because it's not. And I don't really have a product that actually works, so. I mean, you can sell them some stuff, but
you should do one, because everyone can relate to this. Like I said, it's never copying, but you should do one. I just did one the other day, and I want you to do it from your point of view, where it's like when they come in with like 8 inches of stringy hair and they're like, just half an inch. Like, I have a client, I love her, and it's not me talking bad about her by any means, but bless her heart, she's got hair a little bit thinner than mine, but literally won't cut it, and it's like down to here, and she won't cut it. And every time I'm like, oh my God, just let me cut it. Let me cut like 8 inches. It'll feel so good. And she's always like, don't cut it. Don't cut my hair. And I'm like, please let me. Nope.
Yeah.
And just like, the string is like this long. And I'm like, please. But what do you do? It's like, I give my professional opinion, and then people were roasting me in the comments. They're like, well, I don't cut my hair, or it's her hair. Like, I'm like, it's not your business. I'm like, I'm the hairstylist. It is my business.
That's exactly what my business is. I don't know what else it would be.
It like makes me crazy. I'm like, y'all have no idea the emotional abuse we go through.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well,
like, just the trauma from like wanting to cut people's hair and wanting to fix things, and people don't let us. It's too much.
Well, and I didn't realize like how much. Like, until like I made a video about a mom bringing her daughter in to get a haircut, and the stylist's like, how do you want it cut? And the daughter's like, half an inch, and the mom's like, cut it short. And then the daughter's like, no, half an inch. It went back and forth, and finally I was like, well, the mom's the one paying, so sorry, and like went to go cut it or whatever, and that's where the video stopped. But everybody in the comments is like, how dare you? This happened to me, and this, oh my God. And I'm like, it really like kind of opened my eyes to how traumatic it could be, because like a lot of times as a stylist, like back to school comes, and it's like the people are holding their kids down, and you just you do it as long as it's safe, but like if I didn't do every kid that hated getting their haircut, I would never have a kid in my chair. That's how I have to do it. I have to just stop doing every kid that says to stop, and I'll never have another kid in my chair. That'd be perfect.
I will be honest with you. I do mainly color. I don't hardly do any kids. Like, I'm brutally honest. Like, I'll have clients, the women that come to me and they're like, do you do kids hair? I'm like, not really. I do mainly color. I'm like, but if they're old enough and they behave, but it's still going to be the price of a woman's haircut. And then if they're feeling the vibe, I'm like, all right, you can schedule them. But I do little girls every now and then. But for back to school and stuff, it's like, I'll have every now and then I'll get a mom that's like you said, they're wanting this much off. And the daughter done want this. And I'm like, okay, well, we're going to compromise. Like, I can't cut this hair if the daughter wants to cut it short or keep it long. And then the mom's fighting it. Like, we are not paid enough money to sit there and be a mediator between mother and daughter for half an hour.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have time for so, or if the mom's like, oh, like I had a mom one day, she's like, we need to take 6 inches off. And the daughter's like, I only want to take 2. And the mom's like, well, and I'm like, okay, well, let's start with 3. Let's just start there. And then I'll let the mom look like, okay, it's healthy. It's good. Like, if you don't mind. But then I understand too, like when girls are really little, like under the age of 5, 6, maybe 7, it's like if they're not brushing and taking care of their hair and mom's having to do all the work and they've got really thick, long hair, I kind of understand the mom's wanting to cut it,
And as a mom, it's like, you better ask me how you're going to cut my kid's hair. I don't care if he said he wants a mohawk. Like, he's not getting a mohawk, like you better ask me first as the mom. But yeah, I got a lot of shit for that. But it did open my eyes to how many people are traumatic. And so the next day I had a kid in my chair that his mom was literally holding him. He's screaming and kicking. And I'm like, you know what? Normally I'd just be like, okay, let me see if I can get in there and hack some out, but after that video, I was thinking no, I don't want to do this to this kid. I didn't think of it as an emotional, having people are like, I haven't cut my hair for years because of this experience. And, it happened to me when I was a kid, but I got over it in 5 minutes. I looked like a boy with a little bowl cut, but it was whatever. But I didn't realize it really does affect people. And so I stopped I told the lady I couldn't do the haircut, and I was like, I felt kind of good about it because the kid was screaming, kicking, and rolling on the ground, and I was like, okay, you're being dramatic.
Yeah, you're like, no. Yeah. See, what makes me mad about, I haven't dealt with this in a while, but when moms at my last salon would bring in their kids and they're, screaming or just being fussy or just being crazy, and the mom's like, cut it, and then you do your best, you spend an hour and what should have taken you under 30 minutes to style and blow dry and wash and cut and all that. And then they're like, well, it's uneven. I'm like, no, honey, I didn't cut it uneven. Your child was moving. It's all, yeah, there's lots going on. But yeah, they'll put their head down. You're like, okay, put it up.
Well, and then, yeah, no, put it up. And it's always the kid, doing clippers on a moving target. You're like, what? Come on, there's a hole. Yeah.
And then grown women do it too. I'll be doing someone's hair. I was doing a balayage on someone today, which I'll post her hair. She was super sweet, but it's she starts looking down at her phone, and I'm doing foils going up like this. And when you're in this area, even lowered all the way down, it's you need them looking up, because if they look down, the foils slip in. I can't do it. And I'm like, tilt your head. She looked down at her phone. I was like, oh, look up. She's like, I said, no, I need you to look up. I was like, up, keep your head up.
Pull it.
You have to mess with people almost and shake them and be like, no, up. Do what I say. Adults do it all the time. Yeah. And I love my clients. I love every one of them. But there's a lot. They'll just be looking down. I'm like, please hold your head up, because we can't foil like that. And I foil, my favorite way when I do blondes, no matter how I do them, is I do the mohawk going straight forward. So I'm doing it all the way up to here, going back. And so when I'm foiling, I can't reach over them to get to the front and paint, and they just don't seem to understand. I will never figure out a way except being a little vicious and being like, keep your head up. We're almost done. We're almost there. It's not that hard if you want your hair done,
You know what I do? I start in the back, and then when I do the front, I foil the other way so that you can do it from the front of them.
I should, but then they're like,
yeah.
And I'm like, I can't do.
Well, and sometimes I start there too, because you want that money piece to be that one, right? So you do the bang section, and then you go in the back and do all the rest of the hiccup. Mm-hmm. But I don't want the main event to be the last foil I'm doing, because I'm tired by that time. I got to have it at the beginning.
Oh, I'm the weirdo that I know this is weird, but I start from back here and go all the way forward and do a wide section all the way forward. and then I do the sides.
Yeah.
So that way the front, like right here, will get really blonde, and then I'll put like these two under heat if I have to, and like let this sit, or like, I don't know. But I feel like mostly I do balayage. Do you do mainly color, or do you just do anything?
I do everything. I don't know. Like if I had to pick like between color and cutting, I don't know. Like I'm kind of obsessed with both. Like I love cutting, but I don't know. Like color, I really really love, but like sometimes color just doesn't work, and there's no reason for it, and that's so hard. You know, like where cutting, I think there's a little more control. But like cutting, you make a mistake, you can't like just fix it like you can with color. Like, you know.
Well, and with color, have you noticed, do you get any young girls? I feel like every now and then I'll get young girls that want like a certain color of hair they've seen on TikTok. And then when you're like, oh, your hair doesn't do this, like, or, oh, your cut's not going to look like this because that trend, that girl has thicker hair than you. And it's just, and then they almost get mad. They won't say anything, but you can tell they're pissed when they leave. And you're like, please don't go make a TikTok about me. Like, I swear I did what
I'm ready now. Well, that's like true with like color.
One about that.
I get a lot of people that are like, they won't take no for an answer. Like, I cannot get your hair this way. Like, I got a bad Yelp review for the very first time in my 10 years. And it really like hurt my heart. But and it was hard because I explained to her multiple times that I could not do what she wanted, and she still wanted to do it. And then, you know, and then she got mad because she didn't like it. And I told her what was going to happen. And even when I was in the back, I was like, she's not going to like this. What do I do? But I even tried to overprice her, give her a really high price so that she wouldn't do it, and she still wanted to do it. And I'm like, no, no, no. And then it ended up looking exactly how I thought because, you know, yeah, I couldn't fix what she came in with. And then she wrote this really bad Yelp review, and I was like, "Whoa." Oh, well.
Sometimes it's like there's nothing you can do. And then this is one of my TikToks that went viral that pissed me off because people were being mean to me, and I was like, listen, I didn't explain it well. Like I said, I make my videos so quickly. Sometimes I don't think about the repercussion of maybe the way I put things, of how people are going to react. And so I made one that says, this 14-year-old made me dye her hair black. And in the video, I think I did a bad job of making myself sound like I didn't want her to get it. But in reality, in this like 30-minute consultation I had with this girl, that wasn't the case. I kept telling her, like, are you sure you want your hair black? Because her hair was like a medium blonde, like literally like a level 8 blonde.
You know, and you can never go back, right? You'll never have this again, ever.
You know, it's one of those things. It's not like we just slapped some toner on there and call it a day. It's like I had to do a toner. And what pissed me off is the mom came with her, and I should have done more on her mom. Like I should have done a part 2 and like talked more about the mom. The mom came in and she was really controlling, and she's like, no, you need to give her whatever she wants. Like, she wants black hair, she's gonna have black hair. And I was like, okay, I'm just letting you know, like, as the mom, like, this is really hard to get out of hair. Like, I'm totally down if she wants to do this. I just want to warn you both that this is so hard to come back from. And I kept telling the girl, we talked for like 30 minutes before we really did it because I was terrified. I said, okay, so here's the process. I think I did like a level 6. Like I did a warm level, like neutral warm level 6. I filled her hair. And
what do you fill it with?
I didn't, but I did the toner and like left it on, put it under heat for 20 minutes and let her sit, and then rinsed it. And she's like, the mom's like, oh, it's splotchy, like in the process. And I was like, yeah, I did a toner. It's not going to stick super well. It's going to have spots that aren't perfect because we're taking it so much darker. And then when I went to do the black, I didn't even do black. I did a level 5 for her roots. Yeah, but in Goldwell, it looks like a level 3.
And it's like, such a big change that you always go lighter than what they say. Yeah.
Exactly. So I actually did a level 5 because it looks pretty much black.
You're going to have to change your makeup for this. The makeup you came in is not going to work.
Yeah. So then I did the bottom of her hair. I actually did a semi-permanent instead of the permanent. But I just did what the owner told me. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do this. Just get it on there. And so her ends were going to fade, but at the root, she was just like, just use the permanent, make sure it sticks. And to this day, this happened like a few days before quarantine. So literally we go into quarantine, and I'm like, I ain't coming back and fixing her hair. Like, the salon owners called me, the crazy one I worked for, needless to say. And they're like all weird. Like, she was mean, and her husband was the real like, oh, hey, what's going on? He was the manager of the salon. And he called me, and he's like on the phone with her, like, to talk to me. They were weird. And he's like, so, China, this girl, she was in the other day, and you did her hair black. What happened? The mom's calling to complain. What's the deal? We need to know what's going on. I'm like, everyone in that salon heard my consultation, everything that went on that day. I said, everyone knew the drama of what happened. I said, I didn't want to do her hair because I could already tell she was going to hate it. The mom was weird with me. That was part of the reason I didn't want to do her hair dark. Like, honestly, the vibes that I got and what I knew what would happen. And they're like, well, she just doesn't like it. And I know we're in quarantine right now, but we need to hopefully soon figure out what to do with her hair. And the funny thing is, I never had to see them again.
Bye.
Because I left the salon anyway, so I never had to see them.
Usually laughing. Ah, they have horrible hair. Now they're stuck.
Like, I felt so bad, but I was like, I'm sorry. I never want to deal with correcting that hair. I'm sorry. I'm done. Nope, not doing it.
Like, hope you get some good drugstore product during quarantine, because that's all sold out. Scrape up some Clorox bleach.
Well, the funny thing is, the girls, you're stuck in quarantine for months anyway. Someone's gonna say you're crazy.
Yeah. We're like 2020. I dub it the year of bad hair. We all had very bad hair, and that's okay.
It was probably her light hair to here and then just black.
Yeah. just spotty black.
Just a band, gold.
Spotty black to here, but then like kind of like a grayish where the semi-permanent was.
Like, it's a vibe. Maybe Sierra Lady Gaga have done that look before. She'll blend in.
Hair reset.
No, but it makes you feel bad, but you're just like, I don't know what to do for you. Like, I didn't want to do it, but people were so mad at me. And I'm like, if I could make a 10-minute long video explaining everything, I would. But I was like, I don't have the energy. Yeah. It went viral. Leave it how it is. I'm done.
Well, I think that's like the worst part of being a hairdresser is that like awkward moment where like you royally screwed up. And you know it, and I know it, and we don't want to say it, and I'm blow drying your hair in silence because I don't want to look at you in the eye, and I just hope to God you leave quietly. You don't have to tip me, I don't care, but just get out. And then you're like, the person's like, no, I hate it, and I don't have time for you to fix it, and I hate you. And then I'm like, I don't know what you want from me, because this is just my life now. And I'm living it. And I have to think about this for the rest of my life. And then, like, please just go away. Just leave the salon as fast as you can.
Please don't come back.
You don't have to pay.
Please.
I don't care. Just get out.
You're, like, hot, freaking out. You're like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean
Oh, yeah. And then, like, you're working on their hair. And, like, the worse it's getting, like, the nicer you are. You're like, Jesus, you're so pretty. You don't even need hair.
What? You're like... Yeah, you're like, oh, it's not that bad. And then you get it dry. You're like,
what? You want to leave with it wet? And you like pulling it out, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna blow dry this downwards because I don't want anybody to see this mess when I pull it up, and it's like eye of the tiger. God. Shit. Oh, that's the worst.
Oh, it hurts. Oh my God, yes. Like,
I'll give you $20 to leave. Now. Bad. This is the best name. Badly shaved ape. Just fucking get out. See, and my problem is I always want to fix it. Like I'm like I can't accept it. Even when they like it, I'm like I can't accept that this is what you like, and you say you love it, but this is not my best work, and I want you to come back and I want you to get it done for free because I want to feel good about it in my heart.
Dude. Literally me. Like, I've had clients, it's like I don't give them a chance to say they don't like it. We're both looking, I'm like, nope, I don't like it. Thursday, you come at 1. Okay, cool. You come back in, we'll fix it. You'll pay all of it now, but then when you come back, you don't owe anything.
And like, I feel like I kind of go off their reaction. Like, I won't say, like, I hate it because I don't want to, like, announce that I suck, but, like, I'll go off of that. And if they're like, oh, my God, I like it, then I'm like, okay. And sometimes when I'm looking at it up close, it looks bad, but then I look at it in the mirror and I'm like, okay, it's pretty legit.
Yes. Yeah. Like, people don't talk about that. Like, you see all these people doing hair on TikTok, like, oh, I did this on this client. Oh, I did this. I'm like, can you show us a bad client. Like the people that solely just show hair, I'm like, show us a crap. Like Eric Vaughn the other day, he showed a crappy experience with a client. Like something went wrong, and he did a video, and I was like, I love you even more than I already do. Like,
I should be the
like
horrible
what?
hairstylist and just do all of the shit work. But like, you don't take a picture of that stuff. You never want to think about that stuff again. Like, you're not gonna be like, oh, let me grab my camera so I can show you guys how I put this hole in the back here. It's hilarious.
Or
show that to the world.
So I'm not good. So I'm not good at pixie cuts. Like, I'll admit it. They don't even give them to me at work anymore. Like, they're not my thing, and I'm okay with that. I've accepted that. And I will say, there's been times that I've done a pixie cut, and I could tell the person was like, oh, it's pretty good. And then I'm like, I know they hated it.
Oh, and they like start like, what's she doing?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like, I can do, like, the best thing I do is just give someone a trim, layers, face framing, bangs, you know, any curtain bangs. I can do it all. But when you get hair like shorter than like a bob, it's just not for me.
What is it? What is the hardest part for you? Like, what are you doing?
I think precision. I like my personality. I like messy hair. Mm-hmm. I don't like perfect coiffed, like, you know, I can do a bob decently and they look fine, but precision, yes, pixie cuts can be messy and fun, but it's the precision of, like, you know, cutting at an angle to not make it look like a men's cut. And then this part, like the precision, and then it's so hard to me. I've never been able to do them. I think, like, if someone has a pixie cut, or like, you know, those short women's cuts where it's kind of like a pixie, but more the old woman haircut. Like, I can somewhat do those. Yeah. But women, like, you know, 20s, 30s, 40s that just want that sharp pixie and all the product, like, I'm just not very good at those. So, you know.
You know what? I think, like, when I do a pixie, what helps me is, like, thinking of it as it's a men's haircut. Like, it is. You know, it's a men's haircut, but it has a couple little details that make it a woman. Like, it has a little bit of sideburn, and it has, like, a razored back instead of straight, and it has, like, a longer bang, you know, and it's like bait, but it's a men's haircut, you know. And like,
well, and I do every now and then I do a few men's haircuts, but I don't really do men's haircuts either. Like, I can do clipper to scissor, but people that want, like, the bald fade or like a skin fade or whatever, I can't do those either. Like, pixie cuts and men's cuts have never been my thing, but I told myself, don't beat yourself up about it, because if you're not good at something and you've given it a try for years, just know that that's not your thing, and give people good work of what you can do, you know?
So we should open a salon together, because I think pixie cuts and men's cuts are probably my biggest clientele. And if you're doing the color, you know, it would be perfect. I could take all the pixies and the men's, and you could take all the everything else, you know.
I'll get all the balayage, highlights.
I like color too, but
whatever.
We get it.
That would be so cool. Like, we honestly, one of these days, we need to, like, get together. Like, whether you come to Texas or I come there, like, I'm gonna convince my husband that we need to go to California sometime next year and, like, go to Disneyland, come see where you work, and come hang out, and we could just have fun with it. You know, we could plan it like 3 or 4 months in advance, be like, okay, this is when we're going to do it. Or like, you know,
I'm down. I'm always available.
I think people like collabs, you know, like kind of like Teresa and Siri. It's like everyone already follows both of them, you know, so they're not really gaining doing videos together, other than it gives people what they want. Yeah. But like me and you, you can build from that. So
there's always where to go but up, you know.
Right. They're like as big as they get. They don't need anyone else. No, but it's like, it's just crazy. You could collab with someone and it helps build both of you, and you get to have fun and make friends and like go to a new place. Like, how cool would that be?
Yeah,
you know?
No, I think we should all collab. And I see the comments saying they agree. They think, you know, I there's a lot of different hair. There's so many good hairdressers there. Like, some of these people, like, I'll go on their page, like, so when I get like followers, I'll look for that picture of that person with the good hair, you know, like the pink or the, you know, something fun, and I'll click on them and then see if they have content, and then I like try to, you know, comment about their hair. Like, I wish I was your stylist. Come see me, you know. And I don't know where I was going with that.
Do they do hair?
I think some of them. Oh, but I was going to say, yeah, there you go. I was like, I just like went on a whole different trip. I don't know what happened. But some of them, there's like these super talented hairdressers that don't have any followers. And that sucks, because, you know, they have amazing work, and as a hairdresser you can like really appreciate that amazing work, but the general public doesn't want to see amazing work. They want to see Karen stories. So anyone that's a hairdresser that wants to have it, you need a Karen story to get views. Your beautiful work, us as hairdressers, we can totally appreciate that, and I love looking at people's work. But if you want views or followers, you gotta talk Karen. You gotta talk to Karen. Get those Karen stories going.
See, and that's what makes me sad too, because I've noticed the same thing. And I'll go like people's stuff. Like there was a girl last night that posted something. I don't know if no, it wasn't a hairstylist, but if I see something that's really funny, I'll go on their page and just like a bunch of stuff. I'm like, you're amazing. Like, I think it was a news anchor, and she had like not any followers, and she was really funny and made good videos. I'm like, how is this? And then you just viral?
Binge everything, and it's like, it takes you like an hour to binge like all 50 videos because it's so fast.
Yes.
And that's where you want your niche. You want to have like all the same kind of thing, because like people came for that. There's some super talented people. There's so many talented people out there that make good content that just deserve to be like seen, but like it's also kind of your hidden gem. You're like, oh, I'm going to go to this person's page and like everything and be obsessed with them, It's just like,
I'm just excited. Like, I feel like I want to make a video about this, but also I think you should too. Like, we should just bounce ideas off each other, and we can make the same stuff. It doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah.
But I
already have like 6 of your ideas already on my page here, so we're working on them currently.
Take them all. Yeah. We'll just do all the same ones and just make them different. But no, I was going to do one about, I thought this was a really fun idea for Halloween. Both sides obviously will have the makeup on, and I can't do anything about that. But I was going to do one where it's like you go into work on Halloween and you're dressed up and your client's like
nobody else is. Yeah.
Like, why are you dressed up?
You got like
because I like Halloween.
Clown, big feather wings.
Yeah, and they're like, why are you so scary? You got like blood on your face.
I did that. I came in one time as like a Joker with like the big smile, and it was like this whole thing, and like kids were scared to be in my chair, and I was like, I felt so bad. I was like, I did Pennywise one year. Oh, it was, people like didn't want to get their hair cut by me.
We were clowns last year, and then the year before we were Scarecrow, but then the year before in my last crazy salon, I was something like really scary, and I was scaring the heck out of people. Like, they were like, what's wrong with you? Like, why are you dressed like that? And I'm like,
you can't be scaring business away.
I'm
that
weirdo. I'm like, it's Halloween, and I'm just running around and like, I'm asking everyone in the salon, I'm like, what are y'all going to be this year? And they're like, nothing. I'm the only one. They put on a little witch hat. I'm like, nah, girl. No, that's not Halloween. That's not fun.
So in my salon, I forced everyone to dress up. No, I didn't force them, but I was like, hey, guys, you're fired. It's dress code this day, so you have to do it. If you don't want to work, you can, request the day off, but...
Yes.
If you're working, you're in costume, and I have supplied, all the makeup and a tutorial of how to do the makeup. People were so scared. They were gonna quit their jobs, and I was like, but it was a fucking best Halloween. Everybody was Tim Burton, so it was like I was Edward Scissorhands.
Dude, I love that.
Yeah, and we got a Sweeney Todd, we had Corpse Bride, we had Beetlejuice, we had everything Tim Burton. It was so much fun for me. I think they hated it,
girl.
And they were riddled with anxiety all day long. But for me, it was a blast. So as long as I'm having fun.
Well, from now on, it's like no matter if Halloween's on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like I take off the Saturday of like when people are going to trick or treat. I'm like, we threw a Halloween party last year. I think Halloween was on a Saturday last year, right? I think so.
No, Friday.
Because I was off all day, and I was like, we had a Halloween party. It took me 2 hours just to do my not that great makeup and get the house clean and like get ready. And then we trick or treated. And then family and friends came over, and it was so much fun. Like, well, think about it. It's like I'd have to get ready, do all that makeup, go to work like that for only a few hours, get home, and then get everything ready. I was just like, that's not enough. And then, like we're taking off the weekend before, so I'm off 2 Saturdays in a row. And we're going to like this haunted house, and we get totally into it. Like, I'm so excited.
Yeah. And now I have like children, and we can go trick or treating again, because people were like looking down on me when I was trick or treating without any children, and they're like, "Aren't you a little old?" And I'm like, "Oh." So I had babies, so I could do it still.
Oh,
Very excited.
how was it last year trick or treating? Like, because the end of last year, I feel like COVID had been around for a while. Were people starting to kind of trick or treat a little bit, or
Yeah,
no?
we went trick or treating. We went to certain houses, and they had all of them had the big candy bars and like the big boxes of candy. And I was like my
Oh,
son, I'm like, we're going to more houses, and he's like, I'm so tired, Mom. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm like, they're giving out the big Sour Patch Kids box. You gotta go, you know. And so we set social distanced, and we cleaned up. So it was fun.
see, that's my thing with Halloween. You know, some people around here were asking about Halloween, and I said, you know, you don't have to get in anyone's faces to trick or treat, though. That's a nice thing. You could walk up to someone's house, and they could leave the bowl of candy sitting there and like say hi from the door, or like,
And
you
we're
know,
all
it doesn't
wearing
have to be like
masks.
interaction. Yeah, like, you know. So I told people, I'm like, we had like 600 trick or treaters. It was
Really?
insane. We
Wow.
have a
Wow.
Yes, like we live on the end of town. It's like the new area where they're building everything. And the neighborhood I lived in, that I live in now, most of the houses have been here for a long time. But then there's my side of the area where we're all new builds, you know, just small, normal little houses. There's a bunch of them they built. And so we live on these new streets. And I was like, oh, we're not going to get trick or treaters. No one knows where we are. They only know like the main part of the neighborhood because it's big, and we got a lot of trick or
That's
treaters. It
good.
was like really cool. And we ran out of candy after like 2 hours.
You're like, oh,
I was like, oh my
giving
gosh.
them cans of
And then
soup,
my husband,
giving them tips on
and then
life.
Tanner's,
Just kidding.
yes, you're like, oh my gosh. It was, yeah, I was like, we bought like 10 bags of big candy and literally ran out in like 2 hours. I was like, okay, I'm going to have to give out like 3 pieces of candy, not
3 pieces of
six,
candy.
because y'all taking it.
I'm like, you guys
Well,
are
and
gonna
then
split this
Tanner,
one. Here's one Kit
yeah,
Kat for you and one for you. Sorry, but there's no wrapper.
just split them. You get one
Yeah,
M&M.
yeah. I eat the rest.
No, but Tanner was scary. Like I was a clown.
Tanner's your
I was
husband?
kind of scary.
Okay.
Yes. I was kind of scary, but he was like terrifying. And I remember this one little girl, she was like 5. She's walking up, she's like, ah. And then she sees him, she goes, ah, and she starts running and like fell down our driveway. It
They
was
got her
so
out of
bad.
candy. Yeah. You got to get scarier
Yeah.
as the candy runs out, like ah, like terrifying
Oh
trauma.
yeah.
You know.
I felt awful because I was like, oh my gosh, her parents. I was like, I'm so sorry. Like he did not mean it. Yes, he did, but I'm sorry.
like, he,
He scared the bejesus out of her. I was like, let's not do that next year. I don't want someone to like call the cops. Like this guy's scaring kids and making them fall and like break their legs over.
is it Halloween, man? Yes, yes, it is.
Yeah.
Okay, well, call me tomorrow.
I love Halloween. Like I've always felt like a big nerd when it comes to, I'm a horror movie fanatic, which it says so on my Instagram, so it's true.
Oh, it's gotta be.
And I love Halloween. Like we go to Spirit like at least once a week, like before and during October, because I'm like, I want to look around and like see what they have. And
I know. I'm like, I
it's
can't
just
wait
like,
till Halloween's over and I get a good price on bald caps because that's something I want to incorporate soon. I gotta skip for
see,
that.
you could get tons of stuff. It's like what, 50% off after
Hopefully,
Halloween?
hopefully, we're hoping because they
At
just put one
least.
in like right by me, like over at the Lowe's, and I'm scouting it out. I'm gonna hide them, you know,
Okay, I
in
have
the in
to
the, in the
ask.
corners.
Have you seen the movie Trick or Treat? Like the freaky little person. It's so good. And I've always wanted, they had a Chucky and a Michael Myers. I need to see if it's there. But it's like a doll that's like, let's see, like maybe this high, and it's holding a thing of candy, but it's like $50. And I'm like, I should wait till after Halloween and buy it because I want it. It's just cute. But I'm like, $50? Like, no, I'm not paying that for that.
It's super overpriced at the Halloween store. That's like the highest price you're ever gonna pay for like every costume's like $50, and you're like, wait a second, it comes with
Yeah.
like a thing made out of like what is it, lycra or the super thin material that's like stapled on
Oh
two
my
sides,
gosh.
and yeah, ridiculous.
Well, and then I was sad because they're like, oh, you can't try them on. I'm like, I get it with COVID and everything. They're like, you can't try it on. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? They're like, well, you can take it home, try it on, and come back. And I'm like, I live 15 minutes from here. I don't want to do that. But it's
Like if
fine.
I try this on,
Well,
I'm gonna try this on Halloween, and I'm gonna hope it fits.
yeah, right? Yeah, I'm like, I don't want to sit, but I guess I'll just have to because the sizes are always off. And then some of the costumes, I genuinely look like a stuffed
Well, I think
marshmallow.
they probably are
And
made
I'm
by
like,
like sweatshop children somewhere, you know.
yes,
Not the
probably.
best.
Probably. You're funny. No, but I do feel like as hairstyles, it's nice. Like the salon I work in, the owner, if I want to take time off, it's like I'm on booth rent without paying the taxes because it's like I make my schedule when I want, like the hours. I can just take days off like whenever I want. As long as you're not taking like a day or two off every week or like every other week and you're just not there. But he's really good about that. He'll be like, why are you off for these like 2 or 3 days in a row? I'm like, oh, I had this. I'm like, I put it in months ago. He's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just really chill. Like, are you like that with people as long as they put it in advance?
Whenever I make a schedule, I like make sure that I try very hard to give like everybody their requests, and a lot of times it comes out to me working like these bogus shifts that's like I'm working 18 days in a row, just so everybody can, but or I have to go and like open it and close it and stuff, and but it's whatever. I do.
Well, I feel like
I love my job. I don't care.
Well, the last salon I was at, it's like every now and then I would take off, and then after working there for like a year, they started making us fill out this piece of paper, and it said, okay, how many days are you going to be gone? What is it for? And this and that. And they would make us do that with literally everything aside from like a funeral. But if I was like, hey, I found out my family's going to be in town in like, 3 weeks. I don't have anything this day, or I have one client I can move them. And they're like, where do you go? You need to fill out this slip. I'm like, you're the owner and the manager. You're married. I'm literally telling you to your face. Why do I need to fill out a slip?
I won't remember. Write it down. Yeah.
Well, it's like we would be sitting there at the computer like nothing's going on. It's like they have nothing to do. I'm like, it's one day. Can I just mark it off? Like, where I'm going. Like, and then you can write in there like family day or
put the reason.
Yes, they're like, you need to tell us why you're leaving, because if it's not a good enough reason, like they wouldn't let you leave.
Mental health.
Or if it was like the week before, even if you had nothing that day and you're like, oh my God, I haven't seen my family member in 2 years and they're going to be here last minute. Like, I have nothing this day. Can I go this one day and go see them? And they'll be like, no, like it's last minute. You need to work. And it's like, well, okay then. Like, it was just too much.
Yeah.
I really didn't like that salon, if you can tell.
I can tell.
So wait, how many salons have you worked in? Or like, what is your career path? I want to hear everything.
I don't know. I just have one salon.
What? How? Like, how did that happen? It was just that amazing?
Yeah. You find good owners, and you have people, like, it's like a family, like these owners they take care of all of us, and they just, it's an amazing place to work. Like, and I don't know if I could find that anywhere else. Like, it's, it's really, like, they even during COVID, like we get insurance, and they paid for our insurance while we were off, and I was pregnant at the time. So,
oh my gosh,
getting insurance was huge, because otherwise, I don't know how much like an ultrasound costs out of pocket, but I bet it's not like a cheap ordeal.
No.
Or labor, that's probably not cheap.
15,000 probably.
Yeah. So having that insurance was awesome. And then, the owner's like, she knit me a blanket when my son was born. They're just available, and they're there, and really awesome group of people. And like, yeah, I love it.
So do they help run the salon a lot when it comes to like the stylist and everything, or do you do most of that and they just kind of you do that?
Well, and they're like the voice of reason. Like when I'm like, I think we should, like they're like, Carrie, calm yourself down and come back to reality, and that's not a thing that can happen here. And I'm like, okay, but for the day to day, I run the show, and report to them when things go awry, So
how many stylists do you have at your salon?
6.
Wow, that's like a perfect number. Not too many. Not
we used to have like 9. So I like work at one of the busiest salons, like the 5th busiest one out of all of them, I think. Like, it's a busy salon.
Oh my gosh!
So we, these guys have all been there. I have the least amount of experience with 10 years. They've all been there for 20 or plus, or almost 20. Some of them.
10 years? That's a long time though. Like, that's a lot of experience, especially if you've been at the same salon. And did you assist, or did you just start out commission?
So I work for a franchise. So I have actually worked at 7 different places, but all under the same umbrella, like the same owner. So like I started in one place,
Oh,
and then I went and opened another store, and then I became the assistant manager at another store, and then I became the manager of another store, and then I managed 2 stores, and now I'm managing like one of the top stores, and I'm an educator. And so then I go to the rest of the franchise and I educate, and then I go out to the beauty schools and I recruit, and I go do the platform artistry or whatever, and yeah, good deal. And so,
that is so
and then
cool. What
eventually,
is
you work
the
up to like being a general manager where you manage the managers, and you know, it's like
wow?
it's a good
I
thing.
am so jealous. Like, I'm thankful for the crappy journey that I went on doing hair, but it's like, I wish I would have found a salon that was like that, that would have taken care of me and like taught me these things. I genuinely had to learn everything on my own, and that sucked.
Well, and
It
I would say
sucked
like a
bad.
lot of this stuff, like a lot of the education that I do, I learned a lot through the company, but I also learned a lot on my own. I put my own work. You have to educate yourself, or you're not. No company's going to give you what you need if you're really thirsty and hungry for it. Like I
Yeah.
want to watch hair videos every single day. Like I'm on day off. I'm doing
Yes.
hair, and if I'm not doing hair, I'm making a TikTok about doing hair, or like I
Right.
volunteer at the homeless shelter and I do hair there. I haven't done it since quarantine,
What?
but like I mean, it's a rewarding
Oh,
job, and it's such amazing, like the whole community. Like hairdressers just have like a different aura about them. They're just good people to be around, and like you find that salon, and it doesn't matter what it's called or what the name on the door. It's like you find the people in that salon that make you want to come to your job every day. You make you want to, like when I'm like happy when we don't have clients because I can hang out with my friends, but we're all so busy that it's
yes.
hard sometimes. But it's really, I mean, these guys have been working together for 20 years, and like luckily they accepted me when I came in as manager. And like everybody in that salon is so unique, and they fight sometimes, but they also, we at the end of the day you band together, and you're like bad customer comes in, you're Red
Exactly.
Rover, can't send her over.
Like I got
Yeah, so it's just about finding that spot that you fit in, and wherever that may be for you know your personal journey. Like I love working with other people. I wouldn't want to work, I don't think, by myself in like a booth every day. Like honestly, some of my customers are very, very tricky, and I need that other salon stylist community to bounce off of. Especially when I'm mixing, like when
exactly.
I'm mixing color. If someone's like on their lunch, I'm like telling them my formulation, and that's like house. You just like you're saying it out loud, and you're going through the process of like, okay, what are we going to do, and how are we going to do this, and what's the formulation, and how are we going to put it together so it ends to be what she wants, and this person, it's just like a wall of bang, to so I don't look like a crazy person when there's other stylists around, and that's good for me.
Exactly. I feel like I was talking to my coworker today. It's always been my dream to have my own salon suite with another stylist, but at the same time, I like the banter of talking and interacting with other stylists because sometimes that's the only friend time we get. Like we love our clients, but
We're
sometimes
servicing
you need to
clients. You're
go
not
back.
servicing each. Yeah.
Yes, they're not there to be they're paying you to do their hair. Like yes, you love most of them, but it's like you need to go back and vent and be like, "Oh my god, she did this." My thing is I think it would be awkward for me. One thing I've thought about is if you're in your own salon suite and you're mixing the color right there, if you need a bite to eat right there, it's like that would
Over the
be
color bowl.
extremely awkward. Yeah, it's like, well, sorry, I need to eat for a minute. You don't mind, do you? I just think that'd be so awkward. So I'm like, honestly, I may never do a booth, but like I said, I'm wanting to do booth rental no later than January, like at the salon I'm at now, because then I would have more freedom, even though I feel like I'm pretty much a booth renter aside from, like I said, just taxes. Like most of my clients text me when they want to schedule. I've got their numbers, but they can call the salon. We got a new system. So we had Vigaro, which I love, and that was a really good system. And then we just got a different one that I hate. And people were scheduling on Vigaro. You could request an appointment, and it would come straight to my phone, and I would be like, yay or nay. Or I could email them back and be like, oh, what about this time? Because that doesn't work because I need longer. And with this new system, it was just booking people on me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, it gave me a highlight for an hour and a half that someone I've never met before. Like, that's not going to work. And then my client after them, they take longer, and then, oh, there's not enough time for them. What's going on? Like, it started freaking me out. So they have to physically call the salon or text me now, and that's the only way they can book with me. So and the owner.
So if someone wanted to book with you, how do they get in? Like, what do they like? Do you want to give your salon information in case someone wants to make an appointment? All 6 of them?
Yeah, I mean, like, say it's a new person. Sometimes people find me on Instagram. Not most of them, some of them, but a lot of mine is referrals from, like, Facebook or, I mean, yes, a lot of my people are people I already do, but, like, the new ones, they'll just call the salon. They'll try to book online, and you just can't with me anymore, which that might make some people not come to me, and I'm like, I'm booked up enough that doesn't bother me maybe, but I do wish there was a way to make it easier but with our new system, it just schedules it automatically. Like, I have no say. And then I look at the book and I'm like, oh, I got to move this and do this. And it was overwhelming, more so than clients just texting me and me looking,
Because then you know your clients. You're like, okay, this guy takes longer. This lady is going
to be like, I know
quick.
their hair. And because sometimes even when your own clients book it online, it's like they don't know how much time, and unless it's allotted for that specific person, it doesn't put enough time, or it puts too much, and then it doesn't take me as long, and it was just screwing everything up. So, like, if I do booth rental, I'll probably switch back and do Vagaro again and just go off of that, where they can, call the salon and book with me if they want to. But the owner said you have to pay more booth rental if people are allowed to call the salon and have them book for you. So that's the tricky part.
Yeah.
I'm like, do I solely, worry about me scheduling people, or let them still be able to call the salon? Because I think that would still help people being able to call the salon. And that's part of the reason I've waited so long to do booth rental, because I'm like, I like where I'm at now. I'm making enough money. I've got enough clients that I'm like, I've been okay where I'm at. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't minded being commissioned for now,
Yeah.
It just hasn't bothered me. So, but kind of like you, I feel like, I want to branch out a little bit. Yeah, it'd be nice. It'd be fun to run a salon or do education, but I don't know if that'll ever happen for me, or if opportunities would ever happen that way. But I do think TikTok has given me, like, the thing I need to, like,
to
have your outlet.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's really healthy, I think. Like, I write it all, like, things happen, and then I write it all down, and then and then it makes me laugh, or like turn it into something funny, or try to take, like, like some of the more serious stuff. It's hard to do on TikTok, but just it's a great outlet. So
I feel like it just makes you happy. And then when you watch it's like we all relate to each other. It's like, yeah, I watch your videos, Teresa, Siri, whoever else that aren't even hairstylists, and it's like you can relate to people on any level of any video that you see. You're like, oh yeah, like the one I made about, oh, I'd started my period and I didn't have anything, and I was freaking out. There's, like, no one with a pad or a tampon. I was like, what did I do? I gotta leave. Like, what? That's happened tons of times.
You try to do the old squat moves, so you could, like, see if you can see it through your pants. Yeah, I've been there. We've all been there.
Yes, or I go to the back. I'm like, is there anything on my pants? Yeah. Like, there's never anything on your pants.
Is it gushing? Like, is it gushing out? Yeah. Did I miss it?
Are my pants just red now?
That reminds me of a time that I was in the salon and my pants ripped right up the back of my pants, like all the way up my butt crack. And I didn't know right away. So, and then it wasn't until I went to the bathroom that I realized that it happened. And I was, like, getting a breeze, but I was like, are my pants wet? Like, what is happening? Like, why is it cold back there? And then, I had to wear my, like, shirt around, and then I went home and changed.
Oh my God.
It wasn't my...
Ripped my butt. Ripped the butt of my jeans.
It wasn't my best day. I got a lot of tips.
Okay, tell me about your creepiest male client.
What?
You do a lot of males. Like, what's the creepiest one? I need to know. What's his name?
Doing that, but...
Is it Travis?
Yeah, Chad. No. I don't know, like, creepy. I've had, like, there's some, like, the older gentlemen that want to, like, touch you for no reason.
Oh!
But, or, like, not even in a bad way, but, like, well, I'm not, like, a toucher, like, which is great for me.
I'm not
like,
either.
Quarantine, like,
don't
I'm
touch
like,
me.
Like, oof, I don't want to be touched. So
I'm just that way, yes.
Yeah, but I don't know.
That's
I don't know if I have any creepers.
Well, there was a guy, he wasn't creepy, but there was this guy, he was probably in his like mid or late 60s, and he would come when I worked at Aveda. I wasn't a commissioned stylist, I was a assistant that was treated like a peasant, but we would go around and do hand massages, and I would go around and I noticed he would come in all the time. He would literally, I should make a TikTok about this, but it wasn't my experience, I don't know, but
I always do that. Yes.
He would have her cut like half an inch of hair, put it in her pocket, and then sprinkle it on his head and hairspray. And no, I swear.
But you kind of think about it, and you're like, okay, that makes some sense. Like, because if you think about like the fibers things do, like just use his real hair and just like cement it all in there.
But it's like, what about when he washes it?
Well, like, the party's over, but he's on his way to the party now. You know, what's the takeaway? Don't jump in the pool. See, that's good.
You should make one about that. Yeah. Like that would be fun.
I've just got a lot of ideas now. Very excited.
Right? I'm like, just take them. We'll do different
you
ones.
You can make it.
I don't think. And if people come hate on us and be like, no, you're just giving us both views. It's fine. Come give us the hate.
Like I'm okay with the hate because you know why? Because I like feel like in my videos, if people like say things like, oh, you're so awful, I hate you. It's like, this is a character I'm playing. You know, it's not me. It's a character. So it's like, they don't hate me. Who can hate me? No one. No. So they hate the character. That's how I.
Well, I feel like I have watched some of yours that people were like, not a lot of people, but I noticed some of the comments were like, oh, that was rude. But it's like, you're not saying it like you would actually say. You're saying it like you would say like to yourself, like, oh, you idiot, like, or like, you know, you say something really mean, but it's like, we don't say that kind of stuff to our clients.
Like, well, it's more like, it's like my inner monologue. Like, and it's a character. Yes. It's the,
like, read it.
It's like what we're all thinking, but we're not actually going to do, you know, and if you don't get that joke, then you don't belong on my TikTok. Scroll on.
Yeah. Like some people take it literally, and I'm like, you cannot do that. Like, there's no way you think that she really talks to people like that and is a successful stylist. Like, really? No one would, you know,
I don't actually work with people.
Like I just made one that was like about the girl's stringy hair. I'm like, do you want to be Becky with good hair or Becky with the hair that no one wants? Like, no, I didn't say that to her, you know, like,
yeah,
of course I did.
But you know what? Like sometimes I see like people commenting, they're like, you know what? I just watched all of her videos and she is so unprofessional and I hate her. And I said, fan. Thank you. Thank you for watching every video and saying I'm unprofessional on every single one. You categorize it and you're coming back and you're commenting more times. That's great. I like that too. Do it. Like
you're gonna love you so much.
I tell my boyfriend, I say, stir up some shit in the comments. Like you'll see his posts. He's always on there like this bugging it, you know, like, and just to like get the comments typing, you know, get people passionate about what I'm doing or like, and you know, have it elicit some kind of a reaction. Like I want a reaction, whether it's good or it's bad. And I'll tell you, I just did one on dementia and I was very, very scared to post that video because I said, I could either, this could go two ways. This could go that I'm making fun of her or this could go sincere. And I was like I want to like, because it's a situation that's happened multiple times. And I wanted to like do it in a way that felt sincere. And I think you know, people were like, oh, thank you. And I was like, oh, thank God. You know, like when people were starting to say like, you did it good, I was like, whew, because it was a lot longer and I cut it quite a bit. But
I thought it was really good because I feel like you got your point across that you're passionate about it and you feel for them, but yet like you made it funny because I hate to say this, no one wants to watch a sad video on TikTok. When I see sad videos, I keep scrolling. Oh, I'm like,
I will watch sad videos until I die, and then all of a sudden my whole feed is just babies with cancer, and I'm like, oh my God, this is getting really dark, and I gotta go like clear my whole data cache so I could just start fresh because I can't just give this algorithm all this.
No. I can't. So when I see something like that, that's like, you still made it funny. Like, I like that because I have too much like sensitivity to like sad things. I can't listen to sad music, sad movies. Like I've blocked it off. So I thought the video was really good. Like I knew what you were going for and I knew you were probably nervous to post that. When it said that, I was like, because I have a grandma with dementia and she'll be forgetting stuff. And I'm like, it's fine. We have like the same memory. Like you just happen to forget a little bit more than I do.
Well, and I had a lot of customers with dementia. Like one guy, the whole time I was cutting his hair, he's going, "No, stop, no!" And I was like, "What the fuck?" Like I don't, like you know, like what do we do? It was just like, felt so bad, but like this guy needs a haircut and he doesn't, you know.
It's sad, but it's like you have to just laugh and make them feel good and treat them normal. Because then if you start getting sad, you know, we just got to treat them like they're normal at the end of the day. It's like I have a little boy, he's 10, he's autistic. And I don't want to say high functioning people take offense to that, but he's like not so autistic that like he can walk around and talk to you and have a conversation. He doesn't just like sit there, but he's very like, you know, people can tell he's different. But like the other day I got defensive. I got kind of mad because my client came in for a blowout and he went up and he was like going to touch her shoulder. She had shoulder surgery and she's like, "Oh, don't touch my shoulder." And I was like, "It's fine. It's fine." He come here. And like, we took him up to checkout. And when he left, I was like, he has autism. He's not trying to touch you. Just go with it next time. Like I got kind of mad at her, but I tried not to let it show. Cause I'm like, that's my baby right there. Don't you talk to him like that.
Well, that's like a video. But it's like, he does, like I have thought about, but I'm like, no, I don't want to, I don't think I could go. I don't know.
You
like,
should make.
You'd have to do it in a way that's
like
very kind, but also
honestly,
like, yeah.
If you're willing, like I wish you would make one about.
Give me all this homework.
No. Yeah. So there was this lady, I never got a hold of her. I don't know if she's, you know, still doing good or not, but there was this beautiful woman. She would come in to get a haircut like every like 2 or 3 months. Loved her, fun. Her name was Tracy, I think. And she got cancer. So one day she came in, you know the deal. We're crying. We don't want to cut their hair off. They come in to get it cut off. Oh. And we're just like bawling. Me and the owner, we go in a separate room and she just starts shaving her head. And you just have to start making jokes and be like, well, dang, now you don't need so much shampoo. Like you should somehow, if you get around to it, like make a video that makes people feel better about not having hair and having to shave it. And like, you could do something like that. I
had a customer that had that situation the other day, and we were like going really short because she had cancer, and it was like, oh God, you know, you're like, at the end we hugged, and it was like this moment, and it was so great. And then like, you know, you're like thinking and your tears, and then all of a sudden you just like gotta wipe it up and be like happy as a cloud for the next guy. Hi, how are you? Back at it.
And it like, you know. Like this was like 5 years ago, and I've never quit thinking about her. Like once every couple months, I'm like, I wonder how she's doing, but. I tried to find her on Facebook. Like those kind of things make an impact on you, whether you think it or not, you know, it's like, it's so emotional and you're like, I hope they survive and I hope they do this. And like, yes, most people these days usually survive, you know, but you just, those kind of things stick with you. And I think that's something cool as hairstylists. We can have those jokes and make you laugh and be like, oh, you look so sexy. Can't wait for you to get earrings and some new lipstick. And, you know,
yeah,
try to make it fun for them as we can.
And I think as women, just we internalize things like that. Like I think where men more like kind of are sad in the moment and then they get on with their lives. Like women, like I'll go home and think about it and like be it. And like I have cancer all of a sudden, you know, and it's like, you just feel it so much more, like so hard.
I know.
But yeah. But those are the moments that make, you know, the hairdressing like worth it. Like just those, we really change someone like they just, there's so many stories to tell about like good customers, but people don't want to hear that shit. They want to hear the Karens. No, I think as long maybe as long as you're like evoking a reaction, like that people can feel a feel. You know, whether it's a touching story or it's funny or you know, you have to like get someone's blood pumping again. You know, and that's when you get the likes.
Exactly, like get them passionate about what you're saying because. I feel like one day someone was like, oh, do you have any nice things to say about clients? And I'm like, I'm not trying to deter you away from doing hair or make it sound like everyone's Karen, but this is what people want to hear. They want to hear the crappy stuff. They don't care about the nice stuff unless it's like how you did it where it's a bad situation, but it was sweet, but it was funny. Like it's hard to make videos like that. Like you have to be really careful, you know?
Yeah.
So
and like the people that sit in my chair, they're like, are you going to, you know, I'm worried I'm going to be made fun of on TikTok. And I'm like, I was making fun of you like way before TikTok. Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. You should make one. You should make a TikTok about a client that gets mad about what you did to their hair and then makes a TikTok about it. Like just make one.
I'm scrolling and I'm like, wait, that's me. I'm that stylist. Shit.
You should do it. Just make one up because all you have to put is like POV, right? And then you're like, girl gets mad, her hair's messed up, makes TikTok about TikTok stylist or something like that. That would be funny. You should totally do that because that
I got some
you better tag me
TikToks to
though.
work on.
You
Yeah.
better tag me, girl. Be like, okay, China, I know. Or tag me in the comments or whatever. I'll love it. I'll see it anyways, but oh my gosh. I'm like sweating right now. I don't know why I'm so hot. I turn the air down and I'm like,
Because you live in Texas.
It's
Well, it looks like it's about that time. It's 6:30 and I got to go be a mom. So
yes.
we're gonna, let's just wrap this. Okay, my one last question. If you could do anyone's hair, living or dead, in the whole world, who would it be?
Who would it be? Drew Barrymore.
Why?
Because I love her.
Yeah, I mean,
she's in. I adore her. Like she's the most like hippie, Cali, like coolest woman I've ever seen. Like I want to touch her face and hair so bad.
That's awesome. And then,
what about you? You have to answer it.
I don't know, Donald Trump. I would love to just like get inside of that and see what's happening. I bet there's like there's probably like a little tiny Trump like controlling it, you know, like, yeah. I just want to see what's happening in the hair. Like that, he's
right. No matter what people think about him, it's like everyone wants to get in that hair, know what's going on.
I'm not getting political, but I have no problem either way with anybody, but no politics
You're
here.
like, what's going on?
The hair.
Combed over.
Yeah, I'd like to just see what's in there. I don't know.
I like that answer. That's awesome. You're like, it's all just.
That's when I have to think about more. That might not be my final answer, but that's a thought. You know, there's probably better things.
I know, but that's a good one. No matter what, that's a good one.
Yes. And then I'm going to shout out to the badly shaved ape. This person has been on like the whole time and funny stuff, commenting, and that's awesome. Thank you for playing along. Yeah. So that person is. We appreciate it. You must be a stylist because she gets it.
I know
or he gets it.
It's hard to read all the comments when you've been sitting here like talking to each other. It's like
I have like 7. Nobody comments on my thing. Like it's like.
I don't get that many comments either. It's fine.
It's cool. Okay. Well, but yeah.
But I appreciate you. This was so much fun. Like you should get my number so you can actually text me when you like go through ideas. Be like, hey man, I thought about this.
I'd like to make like videos, but I was like, you know what sucks on TikTok? You can't like send videos back and forth. So I was gonna like kind of show you what I was thinking for that video that we were doing. I was like, it'd probably be easier if I just showed her an example.
We tried.
Yeah, and then you know how it worked. But like it turned out so much better if I could have gotten the actual video and then done it in, you know, like in my computer and made it the sound good, you know, and had like the original copy so that it wasn't so like crap quality. But that's okay. It was a first go.
Well, maybe we could figure something out one day where it's just two of us next to it talking. I don't know. We need to figure that out because I don't know how to edit or do anything aside. That's why my videos are so simple. So
that works. I like the editing part.
Idea. Just message me.
I will.
I'll be down.
Well, thank you so much for joining me tonight, and thank you guys for watching. And I appreciate all of you. And you know, time is a resource that you can never get back, and I really appreciate you guys taking the time and spending it with me. And China. And yeah.
Go follow the Happy Hairstylist. We love her.
Go follow China Ray. China A Ray, right? Yes.
China A Ray.
Perfect. All right. I'll talk to you later, you guys. Bye. Happy hairstyling.
Bye.